too exhausted, I needed the energy, needed to pick me up. I'm in your movie, but this is my cinema. I got the power, I'm built to devour anyone coming against me a tower. I don't care for the pressure. Some of y'all leaving here in a stretcher. Took my time to go and get better. I was reading in the red letters. Ay, hit me with your best shot. I got time today. Feeling like a matador with that Red Bull. Oh no, you can't stop me. I'm running my own play. For the game win, I can't pin anything that gets in my way. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Energy, energy, energy. I need that energy, energy. Energy, energy, energy. I need that. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Energy, energy, energy. I need that energy, energy. Energy, energy, energy. I need that energy, energy. Been here, we done that. We done that. You all know what we came for. You all know what we came for. We been here, we done that. We done that. Energy, energy, energy. I need that energy, energy. I'm in the game like EA. Been in my process pre-K. Shooting my shot from long range. Going over heads like a toupee. Treat every day like payday. Y'all been living so mundane. My work week is Sunday to oh wait, that's every day. Putting in overtime. Punching the clock, I'ma get what's mine. While everyone's sleeping, I'm living my dreams. I got a coin that's so divine. Lord, take the wheel like 10 and 2. I'm losing energy, I'm overdue. I've been on the top ropes, hitting my pulls. Watch me hit the power moves. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Energy, energy, energy. I need that energy, energy. Energy, energy, energy. I need that. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Energy, energy, energy. I need that energy, energy. Energy, energy, energy. I need that energy, energy. Been here, we done that. We done that. You all know what we came for. You all know what we came for. We been here,
Good evening, my little Call of Duty gremlins. Welcome back to the Elite Series. I'm Spaceman. Joining me in a moment will be Dream Crazy, and this is day 2 of our round robins for the final stage of the Call of Duty Challengers Elite season for 2022. So that means that now that we've entered like the twilight start, it's now time for North America. Europe has concluded for today. We'll see them again next week, but North America's up to bat, and we've got a stacked lineup we got to get through. Ellen, welcome in. I'm so excited for tonight. It's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've got some great matchups coming along the way, and super excited for the night. Of course, excited to be here joined with you, my friend, and ready to get into this.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's take a look at the teams that we have this season. It's Ironblood kicking things off, followed by Whatever It Takes, Ultra Academy North America, Destroy the Odds, followed by 705 Esports, and all the way down Electrify Steel, 3 Kings we've seen before in the amateur scene, D1 Gaming as well. Like, there is a lot, we talked about it in Europe, a lot of returning organizations. Same thing here. I look at 3 Kings, I look at Whatever It Takes, Ironblood, Ultra Academy, of course, but I think the big standout for this entire region, really, Ultra Academy North America, the stature of these players we'll get into, but also what Ironblood's been able to do as of late, how they're playing. There's a lot of former CDL pros in this spot, and it's going to be very fun to watch. But our first matchup tonight will be Toronto Ultra North America versus Ironblood. Ellen, I mean, you look at the names between both these teams, like, you think this was like a scrim, like an 8 sloppy. This is nuts.
Oh no, this is definitely not an 8 sloppy, my friend. I mean, of course, these two teams went to get head-to-head already at the Toronto Open event, and first time around, it was Ironblood Gaming that took the win by a margin 3-2, of course, and then, yeah. I mean, swinging back in the losers bracket, it was Ultra Academy NA that just dominated in a 3-0 fashion. So a rematch, if you will. These two teams obviously have gotten a little bit familiar with each other over the course of the couple weeks, but Ironblood Gaming, yes, the newer essentially squad that has formed last month, and going into this, I mean, they have essentially improved over the weeks, just consistency across the board, and even in the Toronto Open, they ended up placing 3rd. So just since they formed, I mean, this is a strong team, just from the last stage going into 6th, and then just the last couple weeks, just exponentially showing some type of improvement. Excited to see them go ahead again.
Yeah, it's been an interesting turnaround for this Ultra Academy North American squad. For a team that got 9th through 12th at the Pro-Am Classic, which was kind of dead smack in the middle of May. We're wondering, where does this team go from here? Like, that was not a great showing. That was not the result obviously they wanted. There's too much power and talent on this team for them to be battling for top 8, and then boom, right, they get in through the cup, they get top 4, all of a sudden they win stage 3, and they win in the playoffs to take home 1st place finish. It seems that this team has turned it around, and they've really been on a rampage as the season is closing out. But on the other side, Ironblood Gaming, again, also a squad that's undefeated to start off Season 4, and it seems that the factor of Assault, the impact that Assault has had on this team, cannot go unstated. The dude clutched what was it, like a 1v2, and it went crazy in Toronto Open, and all of a sudden has propelled this team to likely favorites in North America.
Oh, absolutely. And that was on Desert Siege too, if I remember, like, yep. Absolutely insane stuff, which obviously Ultra Academy NA, like, that is like one of their, I was going to say bread and butter, but no, PB&J maps, like, they're literally dominating on that map. But you can't cut out, I mean, it's scrappy, really. Like, he has obviously been that player that has been consistent throughout the whole entire year. Like, the man is a beast, and of course teammates to follow. I mean, one of my players that I've really been hooked on lately is Hixie, like, because he's literally, like, maybe sometimes not throwing like the greatest stat line on the board, but like, he's the one that's getting those amazing like clutches to win the round, win the game, just overall clutch factor in his veins.
Yeah, he's a tough person to kill. And we say it in baseball, it's a tough out. He is very difficult to get out of position. And, you know, he might not be dropping 35, 40 a game. He may be going 27 and 22. But not only is that a good score line, like, his 27 kills come at the most annoying times for other teams, and they always find a way to make Hardpoint's more interesting. Again, we stick on board with Waldo and Shane today. These guys are so good at observing. They've been around the scene for just as long as you've been watching Call of Duty, and we thank them for doing their job so we can do ours. Let's get into the game itself. For Toronto Ultra, I think the keys to victory, again, having a full team performance, but Mohawk is kind of my key. He's been a little bit underperforming as of late, at least in comparisons to what he did at the end of Cold War, how this dude helped propel his team into a North American championship to be that victor in North America. He hasn't been playing at that MVP caliber level. On the other side, I mean, Exceed is a bit streaky for me, but we've seen that since Black Ops 4. When he gets going, though, he can take over games. And with the likes of Assault working in tandem, this is a dangerous squad. I expect this to be a very interesting hardpoint.
Yeah, and I mean, what a start it was for Ultra Academy. I mean, huge gunfights, 1-2 to start with Hixie over there on the tree side, and of course, remaining in control a little bit is Ultra Academy here, and of course, on the rotation, Hixie you already see set up. So, thinking about that P2 hill, of course, Ultra Academy, not a bad start for them.
No, not at all. I mean, you'll take an opening win on any contested hill, especially with how scrappy most P1s are in the history of this game. You will take 20 points here and there, but now, again, it comes down to pressure and positioning over towards the tank. Is already Welly trying to work up towards the top side. He will get cut down. All pinstripes in the kill feed for the moment, but it looks like Ultra Academy should be able to get the early time. So as we pop onto P2, we will take our attention back over to Ironblood, how they're able to swing back out, because you got a 4-man stack come to the middle of the map. Hixie can't finish the kill, but luckily, teammates in there for support. But it seems that these trades that continue to happen at the bottom of this basement, it really comes down to whether or not the subs have the pressure they need, and Vickel's done a very nice job towards Barn and towards Grandma, just establishing some kind of rhythm.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, that's the thing, especially when that's all 4 down there for Ultra Academy. I was going to say, that's the kind of the thing too, and I noticed what a lot of these squads are doing. Play on Bocage, make it a little bit spicy, because when it comes to Gavutu, when it comes to Berlin, both teams are actually really good at getting those AR set up. Especially, you mentioned Assault, Noisy. Obviously, he's been the route man for this squad of just picking up the most crucial kills. And as I say that, of course, he takes down Scrap. Almost turned on him. My goodness, but still, staying alive in the back is going to be essential, because, well, at Grandma's, it's Ultra Academy. They still have the spawns, but not if Assault can say anything about it. He gets a very important pick in the back, still stays alive. So hopefully looking to flip here. If he can get set up at the tank, can get a couple of kills and maybe get a trap in the back. 40 seconds left to work with.
You have Exceed, who initially spawned up towards the courtyard, so maybe you get some kind of positioning inside Barn as Assault will find 2 very quickly and helped open up the back, but not a lot of reinforcements inside for the moment. Still anybody's hill, 25 seconds to fight over. It's Scrap working through the side, but numbers continue for Ultra Academy North America as they fly their way in. They get met by a couple of subs, Exceed and Noisy combining for 2. There's the break that Ironblood Gaming had been working for 2 hills now, and they can work their way back into a pretty decent situation, right? Like, we've gone through about 3 hills. It's only a 60-second ball game here. Like, there hasn't been a big swing by either team. There hasn't been a lot of time grabbed by either side. This is how we expected this matchup to go, given that both these teams are currently undefeated, and we know their matchup history that's happened just as recently as 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and that looked like a really good trap there for Ironblood Gaming. And off the screen there, you saw that Noisy kind of rotated early, but Welly here with a huge kill in the back may make a little damage and secure the spawns in the meantime, but Hixie wins the gunfight, but the trades in the front were won by Ironblood Gaming. So now, at least in control for the time being. Realistically, they can get set up for new, but oh my gosh, Vico with a huge 2, breaking in through the front, make it 3. And, well, that's one way to disrupt a hardpoint. He is on a streak now. Make it 4 for the guy. And, well, trying to push through towards that new rotation. At least it's still Ultra Academy to win the scrap time. Ironblood Gaming still definitely making it difficult.
I thought that nade might make it difficult as well, but Hixie's able to avoid both and pick up 2 kills, so this helps open things up just for the moment for Ultra. So you get some presence again towards bottom barn, but more importantly, it just keeps an extra number alive for that transition when that fight has to happen. How will Hixie come up and make a big play? He's getting chased from behind. Mohawk now on your POV. We'll see how he swings it back out through the silo, but down to the riverbed we go. It's positions inside for Ironblood early time as well. They've done a nice job as the hills initially broken to be able to get inside with at least 1 or 2 numbers and then try to work for the kills in the back like Assault is doing currently, flying his way through, make it 3 in a row, still staying alive. But this is interesting because every time it looks like the subs are in a position for Ultra to get set up, you're looking at Scrap, looking at Hixie. It's just these constant one-on-one engagements that Ironblood are able to find, stuff like this where Noisy can not only get that kill but get 10 extra seconds, and that's what's kept them in this game.
Yep. Assault at least able to take a couple down here in the back. Secure that maybe a lead change here, and yeah, it seems like Ironblood Gaming is warming up just a little bit. Assault 20 and 10, by the way, and Seeds stepped it up definitely this time around on rotation. So now as we swing back over towards that middle hill, Ultra Academy do technically have the preferred sides, but regardless, if you take a look at Assault and Noisy on the opposite side, working towards a pinch, still at least they're being able to zone forward and get some time here. Ultra Academy Still looking to break, but at least they don't want to give up these spawns regardless. The mixiness of the hills. Welly gets a huge 2 and, well, no time essentially as Iron Blood Gaming is thinking about that rotation. They have to start pushing forward now.
Vikul was absolutely disgusting yesterday, what he was able to do, and just the slaying department, making big plays. You have a glide bomb for Welly, and he cuts down, that's at least 2 in that spree, but now he's on a 4 of his own, so he could be working towards a glide bomb, which would just make this game so much more interesting. But not only the fact that these teams are trading blow for blow in every single hard point, but it hasn't been a clear stretch of hills that have been chained together. We haven't been looking at a lot of money discussions because, well, both these teams have had their share of 30, 35 seconds apiece, and every now and then it just swings back and forth. You still have a glide bomb to work with. Noisy trying to work through the back cut. He's at 13 and 16, and try to make something interesting happen through the back. He will play spoiler for 1. How will he break? Was going to be the conversation, but I think we have a glide bomb coming in, so it's pretty early investment, Ellen. We'll see how it plays off. It doesn't actually connect for anything, and I wonder if maybe that should have been saved for a later hill.
Yeah, at least I guess the good thing about that glide bomb is it did force members of Ultra Academy inside the barn side to allow Iron Blood to get a couple kills, but the problem is well, there's no problem there because Noisy essentially got 2, but does get teammated. Regardless, okay, well, 25 seconds left. Iron Blood Gaming at least somewhat have Grandma's control, it looks like here. Assault huge onto Vikul there as the rotation does come through, but Ultra Academy still sitting pretty with this scrap time, and you see Pixie just zoning forward now, and also Vikul on the opposite side getting behind enemy lines. So all members of Iron Blood Gaming are bunkered inside Grandma. They don't think they know that this player's behind her, so it's going to be Vikul looking for a play.
I mean, Assault and Welly are putting this team on their back right now. 23 and 18, 24 and 15. Both players currently leaving the lobby. Is Vikul trying to respond as quickly as he can, getting Ultra back in this game, but
that's
huge.
Talking
about it, it's only a 3-point game. Like, they have plenty of time to be able to lock this one down. The only one inside for the moment for Iron Blood who could make a play up inside is Noisy, and he's not going to overexert, nor should he quick peek. I mean, that's going to be a challenge that probably does not go his way. He will get snuffed out, though, and the numbers are always around for Ultra. 130 to 25. It's only a 7-point game right now, and this is going to be interesting to see how Iron Blood are able to respond.
As well, that was a good break there for them to at least get some of the scrap time. But yeah, that last rotation for Ultra Academy, huge for Vikul, just going all the way around that riverside and getting a 2 in the back, and then of course Hixie to follow with that. So majority of the time went to Ultra on that hill, but still set up here. Noisy Exceed slaying out with those subs, getting those rotational kills and getting set up. At least to be able to secure the barn side and being aware where the push is coming from. You're going to see Exceed just kind of throw those utilities and get prepared, but huge kill onto Mohawk, but the trade follows from Ultra, and now the spawns have flipped.
If close spawns for Ultra, they can afford to give up some numbers on these consistent contested hits if they want it. Hixie in a similar position, we saw him just the same hill 1 rotation ago, able to win 1 and a second. Great comms off to Noisy as he will take him down, and with more nades flying out, it's going to be a lot more pandemonious as you try to fly your way in. Iron Blood just trying to lay down and wait for reinforcements to get in to help with a lot of this pressure. And finally, they do get it. They'll continue their lead with 15 seconds to go on that hill.
Iron Blood too, like it's not often that you see scrap like with this type of stat line, first of all, but of course on Bocage, you want it to make it, as mixy and crazy as possible, but Iron Blood Gaming, they seem to really thrive in these type of environments. And I mean, Welly's on a 4 streak right now. Exceed is starting to streak out and get warmed up, make it a 3 for Noisy too. Like, it's just absolutely insane what these guys are able to do once they get fired up on all cylinders. But as Welly gets set up towards this P5 hill, and down, the important gunfights toward that back castle, very important. Vikul at least gets 1, but Assault's there holding on, and it's really just about holding here, hitting that 200 mark for Iron Blood Gaming. Ultra Academy need to break, and well, that's one way to do it. Collapse on the point from both top side and the riverside and contest off, but at least now members of Iron Blood Gaming are spawning out. 20 seconds left on this hill.
Last time we were here, it was the subs of Iron Blood who were able to stand strong and really propel that team into a favorable lead going into our rotation. They won the majority of the time on this hill. For Ultra Academy, trying to take a play out of that entire textbook at this point. 33 and 21. Well, he's just absolutely disgusting. 34 and 21 on a 4 spree. You got Assault at 31 and 25 on the other side. Not that it's been a struggle by any means, but you need that AR response from Mohawk. He has to be a factor as Assault is just taking out victims left and right. Mohawk might be the next one. Up the bat, here comes a nade. He'll get met with a stun. With all that said, you haven't taken out Assault, and he's just going to be a nuisance to pepper off Ultra Academy as they try to regain position in the point.
It's just really about, yep, like you said, regaining positioning there, and Scrap starting to fire up there. Does get 4 down now. But Seed with a huge trade here, working the slower side. And do you see all members of Ironblood Gaming just kind of, you know, of course, dancing around the point, but probably not necessarily worried about this. They're just thinking about that rotation towards New. So huge pressure comes on to Vikol as he does take down one and slips by Noisy. Noisy, though, he's gonna get pinched from both sides, and oh my gosh, being able to almost get away with his life. Hixie does take him down and now secures the rotation for New. So really, it's just about holding these positioning. I mean, you do have 21 seconds left of the clock, and I mean, this is gonna be really close if they can't remain to stay on the point. Scrap with the huge 2. They gotta worry about Noisy on the outside.
I mean, this is great for Ironblood. You can play off time alone, just contest time, because there's only 16 seconds left in the game. It's not often we see hard points come down to the game clock, but this could be an instance where this game one is just that back and forth. And yes, there is a decent lead here for Ironblood, but it hasn't been a blowout by any stretch. And you can tell because, guys, there's 16 seconds. Here we go. Scrap dipping and diving all the way around bottom Grandma's, but he will eventually fall. However, Ultra do hold on to what seemed to be the first 20 seconds. Vikol denying as much as possible, but Ironblood still trying to get in for a contest just to play off the clock. In this situation, with the lead they have, they can afford to jump out of the hill if they get positions. But now it comes down to these one-on-one gunfights. Scrap winning a big one. Vikol can't stay alive long. Ixi with a big 2. You have to fly in. You have to put your feet in the hill. If you're Ultra Academy, they can't do it. And off the game clock alone, one of the rare times in Call of Duty, you won't see a hardpoint finish. 224 to 189. That will be the final score as Ironblood take game 1.
Yeah, and I mean, realistically, across the board, I mean, you had Welly and Noisy who were just doing their jobs, getting those rotations, getting those picks, but I feel like Scrap there towards the end started to really start to heat things up, because, I mean, at one point, I think he was like, what, 19 and like 28, and then he ended up being like 32 and 37, so maybe if that dominance started right off the gate from the start, maybe that would have been a different outcome, but regardless, still, very good stuff from Ironblood Gaming, and yeah, it was really yeah, it's not often that you do see a Bocage end like that, huh?
It's not often you see, like, it's not often you see any hard point really come down to the clock. Maybe this year it's been a little bit more prominent, but it's still a rare occurrence. And the fact that it was only a 220 game to like a 180 game, and we were going into the final hill and it still seemed close. It's not, we don't see that too often.
Well, I mean, I guess in terms of these teams, this would be the better map to, you know, you want to force, I guess, maybe a Bocage, especially against Ultra, because, I mean, it could have been a different outcome. You don't want to play them on Berlin, that's for sure, but oh my goodness. So many saves, though, that could have potentially just, from Ultra, that could have potentially just ran away with those hard points, but still, Welly, Welly, 40 and 27, 31 non-traded kills, and Assault with 25. I mean, from the start, they were just from the get-go, just slaying out on other minds. And yeah, Welly's a beast, man. No matter with the subred AR, he's really doing such a fantastic job of playing just any type of flex.
That's kind of the takeaway, and maybe it is just a question over a conversation of, is there enough response from Ultra? Do they have enough in their back pocket to be able to deal with a lot of the slaying from the ARs and from distance? It seems that Ironblood might have the range battle in this matchup, and certainly it was that way in the hard point. You have Welly at 40 and 27, Assault at 35 and 30. Like, everybody's dropping 30. And it's not like, you know, they're 30 and 35 or they're 30 and 30, like, other than Noisy. It was like consistent pressure all the time. And Ultra certainly have enough in the tank, but I do wonder if that lack of play from Mohawk, if that lack of stat line will come back to bite them, because that was the biggest question. The range fight was certainly there for Ironblood. The parallel AR on the other side for Ultra. As good as Mohawk is, he has not had his best stuff as of late. And you could certainly feel that the impact was missing.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like, too, it's a timing thing, because definitely, like, Ironblood, you would see, like, you know, you'd see Noisy do it, you'd see Assault do it. Like, all members actually were doing it, I think, at one point, just rotating around the map, like, getting in positioning first before Ultra Academy do. And, you know, the one thing that's really unique and really cool about this Ironblood gaming squad is that, like, they anticipate these, like, types of situations. Like, they know exactly, like, they look at their opponents and they know exactly, like, what how they want to play things, what maps they want to play them on, and like you know, of course, talking about it as a team, that's really good to do. But yeah, they just do a really good job at getting those rotational kills that obviously are key to winning the game. And from the get-go, Ultra Academy, like it's literally the only thing I feel like that's like bad about this team is like they just take a minute to get fired up. Like literally everything else, I love the squad. They've obviously been together for quite some time now, and yeah, they're so lights out. Like you can never count them out, of course, but they just have the magical ways of always bringing it back. And if we do take it to a game 5, Spaceman, it is on Desert Siege, which, well, that would be a crazy rematch if we get there.
Ultras are reigning Stage 3 playoff champions. They are not slouches by any stretch, and we can't ever count them out. It's unfair with how good this team is. However, given the layout of the series, you know, you get Bocage out of the way early, it goes the way of Ironblood. Now you get to more interesting positions where you look at Berlin in S&D, you look at Gavutu Control. Again, if the ARs are showing up today for Ironblood and they're not being responded to, this could be a series that absolutely could end 3-0. If that's the way that Assault's playing, the way that Welly's playing, like, you know, you need that production from Mohawk. It's not to put all the pressure on his shoulders, but, you know, with how good he is and what he can do, we know that if he doesn't have his best stuff, Ultra Academy have to work exponentially harder just to keep up. Ironblood are that good right now, and they've come out of Season 4 hot. They're ready to go, and they're fighting for the #1 spot.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm guessing in Ultra Academy's favor too, like this Berlin Search and Destroy, Ironblood Gaming had played yesterday against D1 Gaming, and they did fall short 6-4, but not to count out D1 Gaming. I mean, they're a really good Search and Destroy team, but, you know, that could be like a little, you know, benefactor. But then again, Ironblood Gaming did play Electrify Steel on it, and then they took them 6-3. So, I mean, going into this though, regardless, I mean, you look at the Berlin, and like you said, the AR presence is really going to matter here. So, of course, I'm going to be looking at Scrappy, getting some of those first bloods. But it's really going to be, the name of the game of the first bloods, and catching the enemy off guard. I'm just thinking like mid-map pushes, of course. Mohawk getting in those key positionings of fire control, which we know some of those battles are really important. Top warehouse, but some of the interesting strategies that come along here. I'm excited to see. Maybe if we'll have a little bit of a switch up.
Yeah, the third floor was going to be a great peak, especially off rip if you're looking for your ARs to be in a position to lock down mid-map, assault someone like Welly even. But I also think that given how quickly these gunfights can evolve into who has control of pillars on Berlin, the subs are going to have just as big of a game, if not bigger, than the ARs. So when looking at Ultra, you're looking at Hixie, who's obviously an S&D prowess, always has been. But I'm looking at Hixie, I'm looking at Vicool. On the other side, Noisy, obviously. But again, Exceed, who can be a bit streaky in respawns. He's had a pretty good stretch of S&Ds as of late. If he has a big S&D game, you know, boom, it's 2-0 Ironblood. So I'm excited to see how this one plays out. I'm interested to know how, at least in the first 2 or 3 rounds, what the approach will be from Ultra. How much space do they give players like Assault? How much space do they give Noisy around pillars? Do we get a lot of contests over towards B on the docks? I'm interested, but we can only find out by finding out. Let's go into the game. Let's get into game number 2. If you're just joining us, first match North America here tonight. North American Elite Series, following the European side that we wrapped up earlier today. Ultra Academy North America currently going against Ironblood Gaming, and Ironblood is taking it to him.
Certainly are, but on the attacking side, it's Ultra Academy, and the defense, it's Welly. And you see the kind of the 2-2 split here from Iron, so that bomb is going to sit mailroom. Maybe Hixie gets some information zoning forward at A, but look how pushed up Assault is. And look at this. Exceed and Welly pushing through train. I think Hixie may have spotted both of them, so he does get the first blood. And maybe the call out is from that Exceed in the back. See Mohawk.
Peak, though.
Yeah, very. Oh. There you go.
That's a very risky peak. Either way, though, it does pan out. You have a huge slight in the numbers for Ultra. Bomb carry is Vicool, so that bomb should go down for free over to A, and Assault has to make the rotation, but he's going to get spotted. Surely Mohawk saw him. I don't think he did. Assault still alive. 40 seconds to play with as well. Like, this is easily doable.
That bomb is down. And, I mean, I think maybe Ultra Academy, yep, they did hear that door open. It's unfortunate there, but Ultra taking the attacking round in a favorable fashion. And Well, shoutouts, of course, to Hixie with that opening first blood. Realistically, that was just it. They just played off of that first blood, and I mean, of course, Mohawk coming back to help. That they definitely had that call out that Exceed had crossed over as well. So that was key right there. Because had Hixie if he didn't spot him, Exceed definitely would have made a play in the back there. Because obviously he would have caught members of Ultra Academy in the back while they were rotating over. But good stuff from Hixie to spot that at least to get the first kill on the first blood. And now we got an interesting setup here. All members of Iron Blood Gaming pushing forward towards A, but that bomb is sitting back warehouse as Assault is holding it. Just trying to see if they can get some information.
I think the last thing you want if you're Ultra is to leave Assault alive in a one-on-something situation. That is going to be a nightmare. But so far, so good. They've won the opening pick. Noisy and Exceed able to take down 2. And they'll even the numbers out with about 50 seconds to play with here in round number 2. Bomb still down out towards B. If you're Iron Blood, you're going to have to make a ridiculous rotation, hopefully unspotted. But I don't think that's going to happen. As Exceed, looking for a kill through the back, he knows, he feels that someone is behind. And this could help open up the site. But whether or not Scrap gives away his position could determine this round. Did Scrap hear that? I don't think so.
I think he did.
Yeah. You might have, but good patience.
Yeah, if they know exactly that bomb is down, then at least Scrap can just, get the call that the bomb is picked up. They know that they're planning at B, and then you have the help from Vehicle on the other side. So essentially, both members are isolated in the back. Scrap with the pre-fire. Nothing connects, but they may not know that both members of Iron Blood Gaming are in there. 2 versus 2. Mm-hmm. Bomb is down.
They probably don't. And if you're in this position for Iron Blood, you can win this round. You throw a shoulder, you bait a challenge. No, never mind. Scrap just absolutely beams him. Exceed in a 1-on-2. Not the weapon at range you want, but Vehicle takes a couple of shots. Exceed still off the site. Just has to stay alive for 10 more seconds. Dipping and diving around. Scrap. Exceed. Someone. Challenge. They'll get it in, and they'll get it in time.
I was going to say, that could have been very close there, but regardless, yeah, it was just about speed. Scrap was just playing with him just a little bit, but he had to wait for Vehicle to get a little bit closer to get the trade, just in case. But of course, Scrappy does Scrappy things, and he wins gunfights with a pistol like crazy. My goodness. Huge round for Scrap. I believe he got 3 that round, so initially he stopped the push because the problem was Assault grabbed the bomb. Assault grabbed the bomb. He was alone on that B side. And, whether they had control over A or not, it doesn't matter because they couldn't plant. So they had to go back for the bomb. Of course, Scrap got that blood onto Assault. So it's good round from Scrappy. He's on a 3 streak now. And looking on the offensive side, it's Ultra Academy that are going to take that bomb towards B. And you see Hixie tucked away, watching the rotation. It's going to be Play Ship Pays coming in. Utilities are out from Iron Blood. And bomb has stopped. They have to worry about Noisy inside the B point.
Pretty typical spread right now on the defensive side for Iron Blood. And Ultra should be well enough aware that they were going to get peeked from the window. Scrap does read that perfectly. Tip of the cap for that one. 5-1 on a 4 spree. Working towards the glide. But Noisy could shut down the bomb. At least he knows that there's numbers around with that stun. Doesn't matter on the check, though. You got to be careful with the subs up close. Shots continue to ring out for both sides. 40 seconds to go. Bomb is down. Vehicle dropped. Assault dropped. Here comes the push from Ultra. Oh my god, Noisy's just gunning him.
Yep, and they got the information that the bomb is down, so realistically it's just all they got. They have numbers. Oh.
Wow.
Oh. Well, what could have been a huge play for Hixie there on the flank. Yeah, gets spotted out welly. Up top that fire window does take down Hixie, and then Mohawk to follow, but shoutouts to Noisy, of course. Vico had that stun, and he had that information that he was there, but yeah, it's very hard to win when you got the gunny like that with the MP40 up close. Noisy just playing very smart, just playing his life, sitting behind that bomb site, so good defensive round for Iron Blood Gaming. And man, now we got the bomb, and it looks like a full-on hit towards speed. Utility stun checks come out, and look at this aggression. Noisy and Exceed, both the sub-duo, take down 2 members of Ultra Academy. Scrap with the trade, but the bomb is going down at B. And Scrappy might make the play here.
He can definitely catch Assault. He will. Oh, big wins by Scrap. Welly, one-on-one. Mohawk last alive. Mohawk gone. Goodbye. Iron Blood again. Find a way to clutch up. Tie us up at 2 rounds apiece.
Woo! And that speed of that attacking round there, my goodness. You had Exceed. Says, of course, I remember him actually, I don't know if you, maybe I was watching it with you, but when Exceed, Alan had mentioned on the Toronto Open stream that Exceed said he was the best sub in Challengers. Okay? And I mean, there was a little taste of why right there. Just the aggression from that duoship with Noisy, like just able to cut down, throw the stun check over, and just quickly getting in their face, cutting it down. Welly. He's on a 4 streak right now.
Welly's been ridiculous, at least the start of the stage. Kid cannot stop impressing. And I hope that more CDL teams are watching him because he's that good. But early on, first blood, is that a sniper? Oh my, it was, but Exceed gets taken down. And well, you kind of get a free plan off this. V-Cool could find himself a kill if he chooses to get aggressive. Will fly through the back, might get caught. Better caught timing, thank you very much. This should be a round for Ultra.
Well, the problem here, well, Assault, yes, the bomb, 28 seconds, but he had information where Vico was, so he might be able to pull this off if he can win this gunfight. Huge, though. Challenge there from Ultra to take the round, but man, I was going to say Spaceman. He had information where Vico was, so Assault easily could have clutched that had Hixie not pushed for that trade, but my goodness. Anticipation right there. Assault knew exactly what he was doing. That was very close. Good round, though, still, regardless from Ultra Academy. Still leading 3-2.
What did I say, Ellen? Assault last alive? You don't want that.
No.
You don't want it. Please stop. We've seen him do it before. Please don't let him do it again. Please
I just think of the C9 Ricky's face. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, gotta love it.
That's all. Yeah, that's all.
Black Ops 4 chance.
Welly and Exceed are Lacefield, and we're just all Ricky. Like, are you serious? My goodness. Assault is a future Hall of Famer, Call of Duty World Champion. You guys know the rap sheet. You've seen him perform. We've seen him do it. You've done it a lot. So far, so good, though. Scrap again, getting involved early in rounds. 36 seconds to go. Bomb is down. Scrap at 8-4. Vikul was 2-3 on your screen. Hixie, excuse me, 4-3. Hixie is able to find a kill. Ooh. Everyone falling, though, and Ultra just wiped the board. They say, okay, you're going to put the bomb down. We're going to move through mid-map and take care of business.
Oh, man. And you know what's crazy about that is Welly could have been the potential one to actually break up that setup because he was going all the way around. Had his teammates maybe just play their life or just maybe just distracted just a second longer, I feel like Welly literally could have had at least 2 or 3 right there. So still, the positioning from Iron Blood is still going unnoticed. It's just key a couple seconds there with that COD timing, but the plays are there. Just got to be able to execute. But regardless, Scrap. Cut this man down. He is so good at Berlin. It doesn't even matter what game mode. Scrap is always going crazy on this map. The attacking side, though, Ultra Academy, this time around, Scrap does get the check. Members of Iron Blood Gaming who crossed, but the bomb is going towards A, and Scrap again with the first blood on to Exceed.
Look at the jumble right now in the lower side of the minimap towards A. They're all bunched up, and they're so worried about getting peaked that they have yet to get the bomb down. They've given away their spot, obviously. Like, there's only one of 2 ways they're going to go, but the longer they take the plant, the more information and the more time they give Iron Blood a chance to find a retake, to find an angle to work through, to create an advantage. Assault takes down Vikul. Pressure over towards the columns. Assault will escape, and that's big. There's not a lot of time, but the fact that he's still alive could play or could pay up dividends and be the play that helps them win this round.
Yeah, and I think Mohawk at least has the information that he's over there. So still 23 seconds left. So now you see Iron Blood Gaming. They are closing in on this hill, but Welly huge with the 1. And now again, it is Assault. It is Mohawk. Realistically, Mohawk just needs to stay alive. But there you have it. He wins the engagement. And now Ultra Academy, strength in numbers, they are up 5-2. And really, again, it just credits to Scrap with the first blood picks. Because when he got that kill, Spaceman, literally, you saw members of Iron Blood Gaming who just kind of rotated over that male side thinking, okay, well, maybe the bomb is going over here towards water, towards B. But no, the bomb, of course, was going towards A. So Great stuff from, and of course, Scrap 10 and 5 makes things easier. It's just first bloods. Let's see this time around, but okay. Exceed with the first opening snipe on the Mohawk. There you go. There's a first blood for them, and now you see that bomb swinging towards A. It is getting planted by Noisy. And Ultra Academy are bunkered up in fire, but at least they can play for a retake here.
They certainly can. I love seeing the snipe early on. Exceed. Almost, oh, if he landed that collat, I would have screamed so hard. You would have heard, like, the Holy Spirit come out of me. My God. 24 seconds to go. Welly, tagged up, has to be careful. Assault, able to find one. 4-on-1. Ironblood Gaming trying to lock down this round, and they will do so.
Did you really just say the Holy Spirit?
Yeah?
You're so cute.
The COD God would have came out of me.
The guy, I was the COD God. There you go. Yeah, that's I mean, regardless, that's so cute. That's so cute. I just wasn't expecting it, you know? That I just woo! You and your funny puns.
Look, if he
Love
lands
it.
that collat.
But that was
goodness.
no, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, Exceed with the snipe. I mean, that really opened things up for Ironblood Gaming, even just getting that first blood pick. And yeah, no, I something when it came out. That was just insane.
Wow, Scrap his shot's ridiculous.
Oh.
Noisy's pretty good too. Noisy in the, oh my, Noisy right through. Finds one right around the bend, but Vico and Hixie combining. It's Welly still alive on a 1-on-1 at mid-map. This is a big game 2 for the series. Welly gets out. I don't think he got spotted. I think Vico thinks he's still around mid, and this is actually a great play by Vico. This long rotation. They both flip a coin. They both play it correctly, but Vico has a chance to plant this quickly.
Yeah, he has plenty of time here, but the positioning, it's crazy. Bomb is gonna go down, and of course, Welly's just gonna wait for the plant. Realistically here, I mean, coming from the backside, I mean, he at least knows that Vico's not on this side of the map, but Vico has... They just have no idea where each other are.
Yeah, I was wondering, is he just going to force the issue through the back of what would be P1, but he might get caught with his pistol out, and that's what I'm worried about. However,
yeah.
Here's the challenge. Well, he gets it, and he's got enough time. Oh, body shots. It's 5-3. I respect it, but come on. There's still a couple of rounds to go. Every time we see body shot, you never know what happens. Things get interesting, but here we go. We get the defuse. Round 10 coming up, and there's the clutch.
Yeah, realistically, Vico just needed to stay alive. I mean, he had the 20 seconds. I mean, at least maybe play in a position, but it also counts. What gun do you have? I mean, having an MP40, you have to kind of stay close to the bomb. If you don't have an AR or any type of weapon to look at it from range, not to mention, I mean, why would you want to challenge Welly at range? He's just been beaming 41st map and then now 8-5, but still watching the cross. Welly spots a couple of members of Ultra Academy crossing over, but you see this bomb swinging towards B. And the mid stack from Ultra Academy quickly picking up on this. They're swinging lower fast, and there's the first blood from Vico. Bomb is still going down, though.
That's big from Exceed, but I mean, there's so much pressure on the site, and the bomb didn't go down. He gets killed off the plant. That's disastrous for Ironblood. And that's going to be the round for Ultra. Like, I'm calling it here. I know Exceed can clutch a 1v3. But the bomb is not down. You don't have a lot of idea where anyone's at, and Scrap's in a position. That's it. GG's. That's what happens when you shoot bodies. Ultra Academy North America take it 6-4 in Game 2, and they tap the series 1 apiece.
Yeah, and that was so close too right there. I mean, just having that opening pick, but realistically, Vico saves the day on that bomb site, and you saw all members of Ultra Academy just stacking towards mid and quickly rotating over as fast as possible. That pre-fire, of course, through the bomb site, able to take it down. I really thought that Ironblood was about to get that plan off, because had they have, I mean, still would have been kind of hard to get out though if you don't have any members sitting in the back, because they were trapped there. Ultra trapped him there, but yeah, what a game on a Scrap.
If they get the bomb off, then you're thinking, okay, Ultra can pounce it and probably defuse it in time just to have numbers around. So either way, the round's probably going Ultra. But the fact that it didn't go off did make things a little bit more hairy. Unfortunately for Ironblood, they just weren't able to close it out. But Ultra, very composed and poised in a lot of the chaos, and Scrap leading the charge. He was the reason they kind of won this game, like getting a lot of first bloods, a lot of crucial fights at range that he was able to walk away with. Like, this was obviously a team effort, but Scrap was the MVP of that game too.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I would, to follow that, I would say, of course, Vikol, because I mean, he was getting the bomb down, which of course is important. He got 4 plants. So, I mean, yeah, I just, as collectively as a whole, everybody was playing well. And just, again, the 7 first bloods, Spaceman, that seems to be the lucky number today. I think we had a search and destroy the 7 first bloods earlier too. Yeah, it's a lucky number.
It's like 7s in a row. Something's going on here.
Something's going on. Must be
That's
that.
a big thing.
It's always fear coming out.
Scrap with 3 first bloods. You had Vikol with 2, and Hixie and Mohawk at least getting each other 1. Like, even if they lost the round, that's the thing. There was constantly someone available to help give numbers to Ultra. On the other side, for Iron Blood, you only had 3. In 10 rounds of search, you only had 3 first bloods. So, I mean, that means 7 rounds you were fighting off of a disadvantage. That's tough. It's really tough to do.
Yeah, and it seemed just like Ultra Academy NA were really able to make those adjustments, because when Iron Blood Gaming did try to rush over towards that B site, like, they were successful, right? But in trying to do that again, of course, Ultra Academy just made those adjustments like fast. Even in that last round, they just read the situation that, okay, they're not going to A. You know what? Let's just all go to B. Even if they're not going there, strength in numbers. We can just rotate around together, or just, you know, collapse onto the A site if they're planning there, if it was a fake. Because sometimes we do see teams do that. You'll see the bomb going one direction and then 3 members going in another, kind of like a fake out. But regardless, good stuff from Ultra Academy NA on the bounce back. And yeah, that's the Scrap we know and love. 13-7.
Yeah,
first bloods. He's having
a hell of a series. He's really stepping up, and that just means that we get to go to control now, which I believe it's Kavutu if memory serves right. And this is where the series starts to become very choppy for both teams, because not only do the ARs continue to have a presence on Gavutu, but given that control is always smack dab in the middle, I am genuinely wondering how this will play out. I think that Ultra certainly get some momentum back in that S&D, but Ellen, quick thoughts on Ironblood, what they have to do in control.
Well, first of all, you have to be able to shut down the ARs, of course, because what Ultra Academy are so good at doing at this map is, of course, picking up every single, like, lane, but really, like, forcing, they need to somehow get those ticks in attack and force a defense, because the last time around, it did go 2-2, but the defense was 1 to Ultra Academy, because essentially, that, you know, they getting more ticks, more kills, but regardless, yeah, you just need to be able to shut down those ARs, of course. And yeah, that's really it. Shut down Scrappy, shut down the ARs. And of course, Welly, he was doing phenomenal for skim around. Assault, we already know what type of AR player he is, but it's really just going to be about somehow forcing those attacks, those ticks in attacks, to force a defense if it comes down to a situation where it is 2-2. Of course, you want to win the attacks, but at this point, with how well these teams are, how well they know their tendencies, I mean, playing each other so many times, they got to be able to just get some ticks on the attacking round and force a D.
Gotta force it. Here we go, lads. Let's get into it. Game number 3. First series of the night for North America. 1 more after this, and then we will conclude day 2 of the round robin for week 1 of stage 4 of the Call of Duty Challenge Elite. There's a whole lot of numbers in there, but all we know is that this game 3 does mean a lot for the momentum of this series. So far, so good. Vikol able to dodge a nade, and he will try to play his life on B, work on that first bit of progression. Numbers around, so it looks like it could be purple in the kill feed, as Ultra Academy winning a lot of attention over towards B early on. Scrap with 4 in a row.
Oh, yeah, and already a tick at B. And, well, to follow, Mohawk did just get an important kill onto Exceed at A, so my goodness. Mohawk, you see, controlling mid-map. Scrappy doing damage over here at B. And another kill to Salt. Last alive versus Hixie. Does win the engagement. That was almost a capture for B, but still, they got 2 important ticks over there. Now they can just start working over towards A.
I'm calling it now. Scrap will be in the CDL next year, if not the year following. Like, it just,
no,
he needs to be. We've been doing this long enough. We have seen all the players come through these doors, and when you know the talent, you know the talent. You see it, you see it. This kid's unreal. Mohawk was one of the better ARs in North America all of last year, and surrounded by great talent as well. Ultra Academy North America, very hot start. 23-15 in the life count. Ironblood struggling to get any semblance of defense at the moment. They've given up 2 ticks on B, a full capture on A. There's 2 minutes for Ultra to play with right now. and they're getting bullied back. I mean, look at the minimap. You got Exceed trying to work his way around green, finding these kills off spawn. I mean, somehow he wins that gunfight, but it's so split for Iron Blood on the defensive end that Ultra should be able to get towards B and close this one out.
Yeah, and really credits to Mohawk right there, even just being able to be set up, because he was the one that was kind of rotating over. He didn't necessarily hop on A right away, but he got control over mid-map. He was essentially setting up for that spawn trap, and then, well, that's a huge nade onto B Scrap, almost being able to push forward and get the ticks. But P1 control is really important here if you're Iron Blood Gaming. You want to be able to at least set up beach side, push forward, and, well, getting set up in the position to do that. You see Welly's kind of going all the way around, taking the long way, but still, the kills are coming for Ultra Academy in the front. Mohawk 10-2 on a 4 streak right now on the point. This might be lights out for Iron Blood, as all members of Ultra Academy are winning the opening engagements in the front. I think that's it, Spaceman. 17-4 too, not to mention, I mean, only got 4 lives. That was a great round from Ultra Academy on an attacking side.
Had 6 engagements. All around. I mean, like, it sounds a lot unimportant and unspectacular than it actually is, because I mean 6 engagements in 1 round is probably good because it means you're playing your life well. But the fact that with all that chaos going down, you have Mohawk at 10-2, Scrap at the same scoreline, and Vikul is just six engagements. That's it. Like, that's a good thing more than a bad thing. The fact that he's just 3 kills, 3 deaths. He's not feeding streaks. He's not feeding deaths to Iron Blood, and he's just staying alive. That's big.
Of course, huge on a map like Gavutu, but yeah, if you have your AR set up in position, and I mean, yeah, you really don't need to do anything. But regardless here, that is not a bad start there for Iron Blood, as they take 2 down on the attacking side and now make their way towards A. But of course, Vikul shutting him down, and you see Mohawk already getting set up mid-map again. They might isolate all members of Iron Blood inside this boat here. They can pick up these kills. Hixie does get 1. But Mohawk, he's going to say, you know what? I'm going to go for that kill that Hixie just got. Get set up for a spawn trap is the key.
I think that was a timing play by Mohawk, because he popped dead silence to get out of gun and towards the mid-cut. And I think he was waiting for the numbers from Iron Blood to funnel into the point. Then he would try to pick up those kills. Because it didn't really happen. He does fall back to top gun. So while he doesn't get much from the use of the dead silence, he does maintain his spot, which just means there's more pressure on Iron Blood to have to respond on that side of the map. And therefore, B is locked away for the moment. They still have to work on A. You have Mohawk being a nuisance on the beachfront. Welly trying to work towards top boat, but where are the reinforcements other than underneath? If they get cleared, this round's going to Ultra. So if you're going for a stack, you're going to have it pay off with the subs. If he gets cut, Welly can't line the shots. Scrap, so good at responding. And now Iron Blood trying to commit back onto A.
And look at Hixie, with the game of gaming probably play right there. He just actually take down 2 members of Iron Blood Gaming to essentially make the clock run. So now there's only 15 seconds left, and that might be it. But look at Welly is still at the A site. Of course, B would be favored here because they don't want any members to get on B. B is more important than A. But still, huge save from Hixie right there, and Vikul and Scrap to follow. That might be it. 2 seconds left. Well, at least Exceed is able to get on the point, but oh my goodness. Yep. That was insane. Another crazy save play from Hixie, and that's what makes him such a good sub player, is like you said, he values his life in those crucial moments when he actually, he needs to get close and personal, but he saves plays all the time. Absolutely good stuff from him.
Yeah, he always gets big kills in the big times. And even in that round, you're looking at the fact that we have a glide bomb we can work with. If we're Ultra, you got Mohawk, who's having the best control game of anybody in this lobby by far, just lighting it up. He has a streak that you can use, and you're on the attacking side. With how difficult it can be to lock both zones, B's become that much more accessible because of that glide bomb. You're probably banking on Ultra to be able to lock up A. Iron Blood have their work cut out for them in this round, and they need to put on a multitude of kills. They need to lock up like 10, 15 by the time we get to around 30 seconds left. They have to be able to outslay this situation over on A.
Mohawk is so good, dude. Like, oh my gosh. Like, he's literally, he just streaked out right at the beginning. They're on the attacking side. They're already capping. Then you have Hixie just waiting beach side, just waiting for any member of Iron Blood Gaming to walk by him. So, like, they're already getting set up for premeditated, getting set up for B. But Noisy, that is huge to win that gunfight now. I mean, give up A, maybe zone forward, and just control beach side to lock in this point, at least to win this defense.
We talked about the AR battle at range and who really this favors, but Mohawk heard us talking, and he has responded quickly. Again, make it 18. Finally, he will fall. Damage is done. Vehicle, running the automaton in hand, trying to get up towards Top Gun, will get cut down. The defense does a decent enough job to keep the pressure away from that P1 side. However, there's still so much time on the clock for Ultra Academy to make a quality push. They're losing the life count. There is no need to invest a streak right now. But it is worth noting that the Iron Blood defense has stood up strong when called upon.
No, for sure. And Iron Blood, they really need Assault right now because just off the break, like, Assault had 2 kills, I think, at the beginning of this round. So already having more kills than he has the whole entire, like, map, that's really what we need. We need some more AR dominance from Assault to just get control and potentially bring this back here. Because Iron Blood, the favor, they do have more live advantages over Ultra Academy right now. It's 18 to 12, make it. And it's really going to be about holding P1. You see Exceed doing just that, but Vehicle would be the one to disrupt this. He does hear Welly break through, and now again getting set up for that trap. He might be able to cut him down, but it's very, very crucial gunfights from Assault 1 at P1 that allow Ultra Academy to be forced back.
Well, what Ultra did so well in the last round was control gun, and that's what Iron Blood's done really well in round number 3 here. They have not been pressured off gun often. Here comes 2 to hit up right through the gut. Assault will fall. Exceed working through the back green spawn. Beachfront locked down by Ultra. This could be the push they're looking for. Hixie to the back. That's a great break. And Hixie always in a position to make something happen. Welly trying to find everything. Finds 2. Looking for the 3rd. He'll get it. That is so huge to shut down this round.
Yep, and still information that from Iron Blood Gaming, knowing that Hixie's in the back. There's only 5 seconds left to remain, and he essentially has to get on this point to stop the clock. But Exceed there, ready and waiting. Defense to Iron Blood Gaming, and well, that is the comeback. That is the finesse that we need to see from them. Realistically, just getting set up, Exceed stepping up in that AR role, of course, and well, Assault as well. Out that P1 control, and they essentially held it. And Welly, well, he's picked things up now. He's 20 and 14 on a 5 streak. Yeah, he's doing everything he can.
Literally doing all he can. If he gets a glide bomb, then we could be looking at around 5. Like, again, that's the beauty of the investment of the utility is Scrap finds a 2-piece off rip. Like, it's basically the battle between, like, Mohawk / Scrap versus Welly. That's what this game's come down to. It's basically been a 2-on-1 the whole time.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. After you said Mohawk was 18 and 4, he's 18 and 10 now. So I think you jinxed him. No, I'm kidding. But regardless, regardless though, on the defensive side, this would be the round that Ultra Academy need to end it right here. You don't want Iron Blood to capture anymore. You don't want to take it to that 5th one. But Scrap does get noticed by Noisy, of course. Taking down Exceed is at least a tick of progress that was obtained from Iron Blood Gaming. They do have boat control, and oh. That's going to be kind of the focus here, but look at Hixie. Again with the game-winning play, maybe on the flank. He does take down Assault. Gets traded out, though. That's the trades that we need to see from Iron Blood Gaming. 2nd tick, make it a 3rd. And, well, Ultra Academy here, they're just going to back on down and just hold the defense at B. Scrap doing just that, and you have Vehicle pushed up P1.
Ultra don't lose a lot of lives, and that's the takeaway. Even though they do give up A, they kept this around the 20-point mark, and that's huge. They didn't get down to 15. They didn't have to go into the B holds looking at a 23, 24 to 17 life lead for Iron Blood. It was basically tied up, and that's going to be big for a lot of times when they need a quick contest, when they need a quick challenge, even if you have to give away a couple of lives. Pixie playing so well past that 50-yard line just to create pressure that's unnecessary for Iron Blood to deal with. I mean, the spread from Ultra has been so good in this game. And it continues.
really has. I mean, their spread, you got Scrap over by Boat. I mean, who just won an engagement. You got Mohawk over here, who has help from Vikul, pushed up that beach side. Like, they have Ironblood Gaming exactly where they want them, and they just have to isolate and hold them here. And that's all it's about. And Mohawk just, you know, valuing his life, trying to go for an over challenger with a pistol. That was kind of risky, but, well, Assault with the team kill does make it a little bit more mixy. But you see, if you're Ironblood Gaming, like, you have a minute left, you kind of need to regroup here and just pick a side that you want to, like, push out together. But you see at least members get out on the beach side towards P1, and that's really going to be the play. So Scrap, he's going to have to back on down and remain some type of control, maybe call the streak, and there it goes.
Yeah, you just put this game away at this point. Oh, yep. Interesting. Well, we'll get the kill, so at least you get something. But yeah, in this spot, and you have Mohawk with the glide bomb as well, I mean, I would invest this too. I would just put this game away. Yep. You know where they're spawning. You know what you have to do, how little time they have. You're going to get at least one. At least one. Maybe not. But that's a lot of ground they have to cover. And Ironblood have not been getting the kills necessary. They're just getting wiped off the board. Exceed, a heroic effort through mid-map, quickly cut down. GG's. That's it.
Yeah. And that's yeah, only 2 lives left. I mean, just the slaying power from Ultra Academy, just too strong. I mean, Mohawk, although he did slow down just a little bit the last couple rounds, regardless, I mean, you guys, everybody else is just picking up those key kills. And I mean, just coming from that round 1 on that attack from Ultra Academy, I mean, Hixie saved so many plays, valued his life in so many situations, but they didn't even need to do anything round 1 because they had Mohawk and Scrappy just going crazy. But clinical stuff from Ultra Academy, and we expect to see that from them.
Well,
such
it's
AR
tough,
dominance.
Ellen, when Scrappy and Mohawk start off the game 10-2 together. Like,
crazy.
2 of the best players when they get hot on the other side of the field are a combined 20-4. And they both got streaks in like the first round. Like, it's gonna be tough for Ironblood to respond to that, let alone slow that and then get your own ARs going. Assault was non-existent this whole game. He just had a bad game, but the deficit of that was the substantial swing of momentum that Ultra Academy used to just dictate mid-map, especially in that last round. And this one was done the moment Scrap decided he wanted to get 2 pieces off spawn. Like, this one was done.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, even Mohawk here just holding the boat control, and then like just for certain plays, they waited to get set up. Like, he just continued to zone forward and get in their face, get in their base. And if he wasn't doing it, somebody else would. So Ultra Academy, just, they do such a good job at like picking up each other's lanes and waiting for those key plays. And Hixie is a big benefactor of that. And of course, Vikul. But I mean, they all individually do it. Scrap just locks it down. 25 nod traded kills from him. And I mean, even from offensive and defensive kills, he had 15 apiece. Like, it's just crazy. Every of course every kill matters, but like, this guy just off the break, I mean, he got a 2-piece, almost a 10 streak. I mean, God, the guy could have dropped the nuke if he wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, once you're dealing with one, you're dealing with the other. And 21-18 for Vikul, Scrap 30-16, 21-15 for Mohawk. Hixie's 19 kills were like the most important 19 because it just basically shut down every round. But on the other side, Assault, double negative, Welly, dead even, Exceed, Noisy, both negative. That is the tail of the tape. The stats tell you everything. It just was not a good game from Ironblood. They could not slay their way out of situations.
Yeah, and that was one of the keys that we had talked about for Ironblood Gaming going into this. Like, if you're going to win this map, you need to be able to cut down the AR dominance from Ultra Academy. Like, I mean, just in general, they are so AR dominating, like AR dominant. But I mean, like, that's where we needed Assault, of course, to just step up there. But it happens, you know. Gavutu, we know the familiarity there with Ultra and how well they are at that map. But as we head into this Berlin, I don't know. What do you think? What are you feeling? Because personally, for me, I feel like Ultra Academy NA, like, just from that last map, this is Berlin. This is Scrappy's playground, especially like, I mean, every map seems to be like Scrappy's playground, but you look at the next 2 maps, Berlin and Desert Caesar and S&D, and it's like, okay, we know that Ironblood has taken them on these maps before, or at least on Desert Siege, I know for a fact, but like, barely. But like, you know, just coming off of that 3-1, I think that Ultra's gonna take it here. I do. They're just too hot right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the momentum is not only on their side, but the ARs are awake for Ultra. Like, they've woken up. Mohawk got slapped around game 1, and he's like, oh yeah, like, I'm also incredibly talented and can be the best AR in North America at times. And then he just exploded in game 2, had a very good game, and then took over in game 3. And between him and Scrap doing what he's doing, if they just stay 80% of that, like, they're going to win this Hardpoint. As good as Ironblood Gaming are, that's what this Ultra Academy team can do. That's why they took home the championship. That's why they were so good in Toronto. That's what this team is. They are favored and supposed to be making playoffs this season for season 4. Like, that's who they should be. So,
and the advantage to this too, I guess, I mean, I would say in terms of the elite stages, I mean, Ironblood Gaming has played on Berlin Hardpoint, and they took both Electrify Steel and D1 Gaming on it. And Ultra, I mean, that has pretty much been not the case. You know, they've been playing on Bocage, but you know, I mean, regardless, I mean, they're still good at the map, but it's not impossible if you're Ironblood, because we know that they're actually they are a pretty good AR team. They just need to step it up here. So could we potentially see a game 5? Yeah, of course. Absolutely. It's a coin flip. It's Vanguard. But just the momentum from that, like, I can hear Scrappy screaming in my ears. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
when he gets
once
going,
it's hyped,
wrap it up.
like, it's just insane what this guy brings to the table when he's like hyped up, fighting like that. And then of course, when you have Mohawk to follow, and then, I mean, just everybody collectively as a whole making game-winning plays and playing patient with their ARs. Yeah, that's what you love to see, is a patient sub player, because I feel like a lot of them just run around headlessly and just, you know what I mean? It's like you're playing rank play at this point. But no, I just, yeah, Ultra Academy, I think they're going to take this one. But I would like to see a game 5, Spaceman. I would. Day 1 back with you, man.
These two teams, between these two teams, they would absolutely need a game 5, I think, for the story, but also just the quality of the product. That's how good both these teams are, and it would be awesome to see the adjustments they do make between the first S&D and the last. But here we go. This is a very big hard point for Ultra Academy North America. This could be a 3-1 series win for Ironblood. You need it to go to the distance, to go to game 5 again. Ultra open up with 3 straight kills, make it 4. And we've talked about that flurry, how it can really open up these early hard points for Ultra. They're looking to put up 30, 40, 50, maybe 70 points by the time we get to our P2. And by the time we finish it, this could be a hot start for them.
Yeah, absolutely. They have the preferred spawns to the boot. I mean, already just getting these opening engagements, and it's Mohawk here to save, at least on P1. But the scrap time, I was going to say maybe might go to Ironblood Gaming, but at this point, it's chalked. I think that they're going to decide to give it up. You see Welly getting set up over on that street side, and, well, Ultra Academy members are funneling on through, and Hixie here just kind of playing patiently. We really need that engagement 1 over on the water side, but it's still, again, wow, 48, make it 50-0. Ultra Academy are just slaying out of their minds right now, Spaceman.
If they keep this up through the first 3 hills, this is going to be a very quick game. Like, it's going to be a ridiculous hit the regain button for Ironblood, but if Hixie's playing this hot this early, Scrap is just taking gunfights out at range at will. It's going to be very tough, but this is where you need a break. It's not even about the fact that it's 67-0. You just need to get into the hill, right? Like, establish that, okay, we're here. Here's the setup we're going to use. Here's how we're going to work through the kills off the point. Here's how we're going to funnel into our ARs. You need to set up something, some game plan, just to break the monotony, as Ultra Academy have built an incredibly big lead. And I said in the first hill, they could just go up 70-0 if they wanted to, and so far, so good.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're, if you're Ultra Academy, I mean, you already see them bunkered in and set up over towards this P3 hill, but Exceed kind of trapped the wall. I was gonna say, if you're Ironblood Gaming, I just wonder if you invested way too much time into that last hill. Like, they didn't start to rotate and push through like quick enough. I feel like just getting set up in position. Slow on these rotations, they never can get anything going, and of course it doesn't help when you're getting slayed out. So yeah,
they're first to rotate and last to break.
Well, not on this one. On the second one they were, but yeah, it's definitely making things a little bit more difficult. I feel like they just need to find one good hold, and they're back in this. 23 seconds left though. And, well, the break is going to try to come on through from that P1 side, and, well, maybe deemed successful here if Beakle has anything to say about it. Does take down 1, and, well, all members of Ultra Academy are on the rotation, so at least there's a little bit of scrap time and some ticks that go over to Ironblood Gaming, but, well, set up already. It's Ultra Academy. Look at Hixie, setting up for the play already, waiting for the rotations to come through.
And if you're Ultra, this is where you would try to put Ironblood away. Like, whether it's chaining these next 2 hills together, how dangerous Train Yard can be. you could put them away here with a full hold, full 40 seconds. It'd be a 100-point game. Then you're playing off of the opening breaks of that 15, 20-second pushes. Bada bing, bada boom. 7 and 6 for Exceed. Welly struggling early on. Assault having a decent game. Scrap at 9 and 6. Mohawk at 12 and 5. Like, Mohawk has turned it around in the latter half of this series. He's on a 3 spree of his own, trying to get a glide bomb. He will catch Assault, but not enough for the kill. With all that happening, uncontested time, and continuation of this lead, Ultra Academy putting more points on the board.
Yeah, indeed. And I mean, if you look about the setup, though, the good news is for Iron Blood, yes, is the setup that they have going into P5. Like, they're already set up Male and Fire and Street Side, and, like, they kind of, like, have a spread across the whole entire map. So they can get some decent time here and potentially make this a money hill if they can trap Ultra Academy in that back warehouse. So you see Noisy just kind of waiting for members of here. Hixie does slip the net through, but it's that huge engagement that was won over, over on that water side. Scrap is able to drop, but it's kind of contested. Assault wins the 2, and, well, you're Ultra Academy. Maybe you're just gonna think about getting control, Spaceman, but it's that flip that you need to worry about towards the new rotation. Still.
Yeah, you're still going to contest as long as possible.
Gunfight still won there. Yep.
Yeah, there's no reason for Ultra to leave off on these 30 seconds. You absolutely will commit resources towards P5 because how it eventually will chain back into your first rotation on our second set of hills, then to P2. This is a big P5 hill, not just for score, but for setting the momentum back up for the next couple of hills that we have going on. As Mohawk does the dirty work on the ground, and he'll do enough just to kill off the last 10 seconds, but credit to Ultra for getting that last 15-ish. It makes it a 150 to 58 game. A bit of a comeback from Iron Blood, but not enough to make a huge dent. They will have to start chaining P1 and P2s together to get more aggression with those subs. Hixie for 1, good. Hixie with a nade as well. Assault, challenging. Assault, dying. Hixie on a 3 spree, and V-Colt back towards the tracks. Here comes Ultra Academy.
Oh my goodness, what a game-winning crazy plays from Hixie there to take down 3 to secure this time, and realistically Exceed could have made the play there, which he started to, and now actually getting that opening pick, huge coming from Exceed, and at least to get this remaining time, but still got Vehicle dancing his way around the point. He's going to zone forward and start to get to that rotation towards New, but at least, I mean, if you're Ultra Academy, you don't need to invest too much time into this. You already see Scrap on the rotation getting set up New. He's able to slip 1 player of Iron Blood Gaming, and, well, the Scrap to be fought and the Scrap to be not contained there. At least Mohawk able to clear him off the point, and, well, get set up water side. Seek Seed. Let's see if he can try to make a play back here. I don't think he's been spotted. Might be able to collapse on this point, but his teammates need to win the gunfights in the front.
Yeah, well, you have to have a complete 180 compared to how you played this last P2. You have to at least put 30 points on the board, or this game could get put out of reach, and you win on scrap time alone if you get to 200 if you're Ultra. They've continued just to win gunfight after gunfight, V-Cool for 2. It's 174 to 88. Ultra not putting anybody in the point, just getting kills, feeding kills. Exceed finally shuts down V-Cool, but Hixie still alive, still shooting, still gunning. Big win there. 20 seconds to fight over. Hixie's just frying right now. Hixie is just frying. It's just an absolute... I can't say the word on broadcast. I can't say it. It's just chaos right now. 188 to 88. Hixie has stepped up big. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. So Scrap right there, I saw he noticed a player from Iron Blood. He was just trying to get behind enemy lines. That's why he didn't necessarily take that gunfight, but he did get spotted. But regardless, I mean, does it even matter? You see Ultra Academy flooding through that riverside, and well, although Iron Blood are able to take down 2, look at this. Scrap again gets behind a player. He does get taken down, but there's only 2 members of Iron Blood that are left on the on the fire hill. So it's everybody down, and now Ultra Academy broke through the riverside, and Iron Blood Gaming flipped the script. They're pushing through P1 and now funneling through 1 lane. They got to try to see if they can break through fire or wrap around, but they don't have much time to work with this. Ultra Academy, of course, hit that 200 mark. 25 seconds left.
Yep, there's no numbers on the over towards docks. There's no numbers through mid-map, so you're hoping if you don't have a sub in fire that you can just push through the column or through pillars, and at this point, it's just way too easy for Ultra to know where numbers are coming from. Right? Like, you have pillars control, you have an idea, you have numbers around, okay, then we're going to turn back to fire. You have somebody out in fire like an AR, and you have somebody out towards the docks, you're like, okay, they have to be pillars. It's just very, very simple for Ultra. They're getting the quick reads, they know exactly where they have to be. And Vico might get a kill. There it goes. Oh, he got gunned. Goodbye. Noisy comes up from behind, but regardless, damage is done. 222 to 115. It's do or die right now for Ironblood in this series. You have to hold for a full 60, and you have to keep Ultra out of the point. You can't allow them to win off scrap time.
No, and Mohawk would have been the one there to at least disrupt it, but Hixie still on a spree in the front, does take down some members of Ironblood Gaming, but, well, now at least they have Ultra Academy where they want them isolating, funneling through one lane, but it doesn't matter because Scrap gets a crazy two-piece, cuts him down through the front. No members of Ironblood Gaming onto the point. That's 3 for Scrap, and those engagements, of course, being one through the front allows Ultra Academy to at least get some of this time and inch their way so much closer for win conditions to win it here on this P5 hill.
Ultra can't win it here. And obviously Ironblood knows that. But now you gotta go. You gotta go to P5. Numbers are around for Ironblood. They essentially have to keep Ultra out even on contest because there is only a minute 48 on the clock left to play with. Yet again, could this series come down to a situation where we don't even go the full 250? I don't think it will. It's far too gone at this point. 226 to 129. Ultra aren't going to take that chance nor the risk. They're going to want to win this one flat out by the score itself. That's 3 dead, though. Ironblood do get into the point. 36 seconds to go. But there's been a couple of hills in this game where the first 15 seconds have gone by nobody getting points, and then finally a team will get that time. There's been a lot of free time left up on the board in both these hard points. Ironblood do get in eventually. 19 and 21 for Noisy. Might be able to find Hixie on a wide peak if he throws the shoulder, but here comes the spawn flood from Ultra Academy. And they're more than happy to give up this time. They just got to get back in position for that rotational fight that they should win, and they'll be able to close out this game.
Yeah, and of course, a huge right there onto Hixie just to at least to get some of that time and isolate, but Exceed, of course, he's going to be dancing around. Big credits to him because that's a huge reason why Ironblood Gaming were able to get some scrap time on that. They were securing the train side, and well, now at least in control, Ultra Academy on the point. Ironblood Gaming, they have to kind of fly on through. They have to find some way to contest this hill, but even though spawns are in their favor, Ultra Academy still have the lead here. A very win condition, and well, Mohawk still cutting them down through the front. It's going to be very close here.
Oh my god!
Okay.
No way! Dude, Mohawk is an absolute demon. What? He is an absolute freak of human nature. 28 and 23. Give him the game. Just everybody stop playing. Give him the game. GG's. Ultra Academy take it. And the series 3-1. What the hell was that?
Wow. Well, Ironblood Gaming, again, they started to kind of inch their way forward, closer to that lead change there, but Ultra Academy from the start just firing on all cylinders. My goodness, Mohawk at the end there. What was that? Oh, the Ultra Academy, I mean, just the AR dominance from them, just so good. And I mean, Hixie with the plays, with the sub, everything that guy does is just insane. And just to boot with Beagle, everybody on that spot just lights out. Man.
They don't win the control on the hard point if Mohawk doesn't do what he just did. And that is the takeaway. Like, Mohawk back to Cold War form. Here he comes. It's disgusting. He was 29 and 23, and his 2 biggest kills came at the biggest time with a hip fire that still doesn't make sense. 27 and 24 for Hixie. Everybody doing their part. On the other side, it was a quality game, but it just seemed like they got going a little too late, and there was so much free time that was left on the board for both these teams, but Ironblood did not capitalize.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just I know that sometimes, like, when needing to rotate, Ironblood can chase kills, and you know, there was just a couple of situations where it looked like they could have ran away with the lead, like especially on that rotation from P2 to P3. They were still fighting kills in that mailroom, and it's like, man, what are you doing? Just give it up. Start to push through Riverside, rotate through that street, get in the back, get in position. You saw so many times where Scrap, like, he would be eyeing some of these players and just looking at them, not shooting, and just going through, getting through enemy lines and getting in the back to disrupt their spawns. So at the end of the day, Ultra Academy really good on collapsing, on points, breaking obviously, but just having that ability to hold so well. Yeah, and it helps when you have everybody just firing on all cylinders. I mean, all the non-traded kills, 19 from Vehicle, 17 Hixie. I mean, just everybody across the board, just really good.
Yeah, it's disgusting, I think is the word for Ultra. Like, everybody just turned up, and the nice thing about this series was everybody contributed in some way to a win, whether it was Vico in the S&Ds or in the opening hardpoint, whether it was Hixie in the control in the hardpoint, Scrap and Mohawk combining in the control, and Mohawk showing up in the hardpoint for game 4. Everybody did their part in different times, and when it all came together, that's the result. And they take down Ironblood, who was previously undefeated. Same with Ultra Academy North America. Both these teams going in head-to-head undefeated. They get a bit of revenge, but Ultra proving they are the better team this week. They might be the better team this split. Regardless, Ellen, this was nuts. But I just want to see what Ultra has up their sleeves. We're going to get a quick schedule change, and we'll keep you updated with why when we come back from this break. But when we return, the final match of the night, we will be seeing Ultra Academy North America again. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be exciting. See you guys in a minute.
tune back into the music. You know how to do this. Don't second guess, just not a test. It's not a race, no black or white. Everything's great, no yesterday, never tomorrow. Only the present, that is your gift. It benefits you only if open. Everyone's chosen, beauty of choice. You can stay silent, forget your voice. You can malign them, hold a grudge, or stand before judge, just stay in your case. Top of the notion that you were just a mere drop in the ocean. This is your moment, fear is a Trojan horse. Will you open or close your doors? Just when you feel like it's too much, just when you feel like you've had enough, take a step back from the edge and take a deep breath. Dance like you'll never. Dance like you'll never. Sometimes you don't like where you live. Sometimes you don't really like your kids. Sometimes you grow out of your friends. Sometimes it's your fault, just admit it. Finger point in the mirror, 3-point back, that's the tearjerker. You can wallow in sorrows, depressed of the past, afraid of the unknown tomorrow. Or you can just live in the now. We all trying to figure it out. The rhythm inside of your chest that's keeping you moving, that's the solution. The ball on the floor is hard to ignore. Endurance and rush will flush your brains while you dance your pain away. Just when you feel like it's too much, just when you feel like you've had enough, take a step back from the edge, take a deep breath. Dance like you'll never. Dance like you'll never. Dance like you'll never. Dance like you'll never ever gonna live again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Call of Duty Challengers Elite Series final season for 2022. I'm Spaceman, that is Dream Crazy, and this is going to be a hell of a matchup. It's whatever it takes versus Ultra Academy North America, and my goodness, we've changed things around, and here's why. Apparently, the matchup we were supposed to have, Electrify Steel versus Destroy the Odds, there was a couple of storms happening near the Midwest, Mideast of the United States. And so because of tornado warnings, we wanted to make sure our players are obviously safe. So we're going to reschedule that match for tomorrow. And instead, tonight, we will be concluding with Whatever It Takes versus Ultra Academy. Whatever It Takes, of course, being Clayster and Fellows team. Yes, that Clay that you all know and love. He is down here competing in the Challengers Pit, and he has to go up against another team that's undefeated.
Yeah, well, I would say maybe more so Bracket 2 Real, because as we know, it was the original squad of Major Maniac, Neptune, Bracket 2 Real that qualified. And then, yes, Clayster, I'm so glad that we get to do this match. Got blessed. And obviously with the addition of Clayster and Fellow, it's like they didn't really even take a hit. Like, they've still been dominating. Even in scrims, I've been watching these guys. And yeah, Clayster obviously has that fire. Fellow, I mean, all these guys. And Bracken 2 Real, like, I even just saw Sensor tweet it yesterday. These guys, why are they not in the league? Because, I mean, we know 2 Real just from the history that he's had. Like, he's been playing, like, lights out, I feel like, it's consistent all year.
Yeah. First time I saw him, Ellen, 2 Real, was Black Ops 4 Champs when we were underneath the stadium and he was putting on a show in Frequency Hardpoint. The dude was getting huge 2 pieces left and right to end the final hill, and he ended up winning it for his team. Forget how that series eventually went, but he's been in the scene for a while. Like, we've seen players from that Black Ops 4 era that kind of rose up, had a lot of their big chances, and now have continued to stay around the Challenger scene. Brack, Clayster, Fellow, 2 Real. It's absolutely mind-blowing to say Clayster's name out loud right now. But look, this Clayster-Fellow duo, all the way back towards World War II when they were playing under E United. Like, they have had reps together. They understand what it takes to be vocal IGL leaders. Fellow, underused, underrated, and often overlooked talent. Brack, who's had a resurgence, and 2 Real, who God knows what he can do with this kind of power around him. This team's in first place. They're 3-0. And I am just so excited to see this. It's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, and realistically too, it's like the big test coming up against Ultra, because I mean, well, they did take down D1 Gaming 3-0, and of course, you know, that was a favorable fashion in the Hardpoint. Very, very close actually on that Berlin, but they took down 3 Kings Gaming, which we know is essentially 2 Real's old squad. Part of it because they were on that Stallions roster, right, during stage 2. So yeah, already coming in with the vengeance. I mean, they've been doing really good, obviously, only dropping essentially 2 maps. So this is the real test, right, going against Ultra Academy, because we know, obviously, coming off of that win, how well they have been firing.
Listen, I know we're talking about Ultra. This team's also undefeated. We just saw them play in their last series against Iron Blood. They took it 3-1. Mohawk was ridiculous. I understand. I get it. I am not doing anything other than saying I want to see a game 5, round 11, and I am predicting, obviously, whatever it takes, because I'm going to stand for Clayster as long as he's playing Call of Duty. So I'm going to be so biased this game. But this North American scene for Ultra Academy, not only have they turned the ship around as of late, and they've had that championship finish in Season 3, but it seems that when they all play on the same page, like, is there really a team that can stop them in North America? Sometimes it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And if anyone's going to take down Scrap, because of course Scrap has been the most consistent, but if anyone's going to take him down, it'll be that AR of Clayster, of course. I mean, we know once that guy starts to fry, what he can do, what he can bring to the table, and he's still been, you know, for the most part, been playing pretty consistent. So, yeah, with this squad in hand, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they fare together. But I think that it's going to be the key thing for Ultra Academy is, like, we don't want the slow start that they had on the Bocage, like, last game around, but they have that slow start sometimes and a really strong finish. So as we get into the map, cool. Curious to see which ones we're going to be playing on. And well, look at that. Yes. You got the Bocage to start off. And well, that's going to be, I feel like, a hard one if you're Ultra Academy, because I've been watching Whatever It Takes even scrim on this map, and they fry on the Bocage. But you got the triple bull in there, which we know Ultra Academy excel on Berlin just as a whole. Scrappy, that is his playground, and then ending with the Desert Siege. If we make it there, gonna be interesting to see that one, because, well, I would say that in terms of a weak point, if you wanted to point something out for Whatever It Takes, maybe it would be Search and Destroy. They haven't, I believe they lost Desert Siege yesterday against Destroy the Odds 6-3, and then you know, essentially that, I think that was the 3 Kings. They also lost 6-4 on. So if we should make it there, that might be Ultra's playground, but that would be their weakness, I would say, just not having that allotted time to you know, work on S&D strats. But regardless, I mean, they're all veteran players. They know how to play.
Scrappy and Mohawk are probably seeing red right now going into this series, knowing that they have an opportunity to take off the undefeated record of the likes of Fellow and Clay. Like, they are going to be coming out guns blazing. So keys to victory for whatever it takes in this series, knowing that you have Bocage up first and you're followed by 3 straight Berlins, you're going to have to slow down Mohawk. Like, yes, we would talk about Scrappy for sure, and we still will. But as of late, as it pertains to the conversation within the last 20 minutes, Mohawk has been the key to victory in late stretches in these series for Ultra Academy. Whatever it takes needs to come in, and they need to slow him down. If they can get him to have a negative game, if they can get him to be a non-factor in a lot of rotational gunfights, if they pepper him with nades and stuns to keep him out of the hill, they have an opportunity to really put up a strong start in this series. But if Scrappy and Mohawk can do what they did, and they can just get that free roam to just gun at range and win that AR battle, like, legitimately, this team could be untouchable. And that's what's going to be interesting. Shout out Waldo and Shane, you untouchable brethren. Because I don't know how this one's going to go. I legitimately think that we're not going to be going to the time clock anymore. We will end this one at 250 to whatever. But it depends on what version of Mohawk and Scrappy we get.
Yeah. That's fair. Although I feel like it's going to be a lot on that. Well, first 2 engagements there, Brack and 2 Real. And look at how they start off with this one. ARs in hand for Brack, maybe even 3. Fellow gets those huge opening engagements, but the setup here doesn't go unnoticed from whatever it takes. Great start for them, and, well, Ultra Academy, we know this is not necessarily their bread and butter, but regardless, not a bad start for whatever it takes.
Not bad at all. Even though he only has 2 kills, I mean, Brack is everywhere all at once, finding ways to get involved. And, well, even outside of the hill, you're keeping Ultra not from gaining any points. That slide out will not work on Brack. He's seen that multiple different times, and he will continue to hold his spot as Clayster and 2 Real combined for 2, all blue in the kill feed. It's whatever it takes doing just that. As they find the opening time on P1, they should get the rotation over towards P2. Brack's going to get set up first, ready and waiting. Clayster coming off spawn is a good start for whatever it takes.
Oh my gosh, and a great setup too, because huge kills from 2 Real, and then he rotates over and holds the back. So great positioning from him and Fellow. He's just able to do Fellow things and just literally roam around the map and zone however in which way he wants to, as long as the back is being held. But as I say, that huge stop there from Mohawk as he wraps all the way around, takes down Clayster, and now Ultra Academy looking to get some time here, work their way forward.
What will the response be from the subs inside barn? You have Scrap, who's usually on the con to its full range on this map. We've seen it just, what, half an hour ago, what he was able to do in close in the hill, and also just working on the outskirts. And a lot of these awkward gunfights, he will walk away victorious. His gun has been lights out today, and it continues so forth as Brack and Clay combining for 2. Brack on the 3rd. It's another wipe right now for whatever it takes, but with 15 seconds to go, you are fighting over anchor time at this point for Ultra Academy. Is it really worth pushing all 3 instead? We're going to try to funnel on out, and I like the play. Keep together, try to work through these kills if you can. But underneath, in bottom grandmas, set up early, whatever it takes, looking for the opening hold. Fellow on your screens flying his way in with the sub. And this could get very, very dicey.
Yeah, and I really love the positioning from whatever it takes, because it just, as I say that, Vehicle cuts him down. Hold on a second. He's on a 6 spree, by the way. He just cut down 3 for the break on that setup of whatever it takes. I was going to say that they all had 3 ARs and kind of just setting up in a position to where they were forcing Ultra Academy in those long-range gunfights, but 2 Real, obviously in the opening breaks, did really huge, and still here in the back you see the fights from Fellow are one to be had, and of course it's Vehicle who is just dominating. He's on an 8 streak right now, Spaceman, able to secure that time. Crazy plays coming from him, and that's that sub pressure that we are starting to see here from Ultra Academy light up the scoreboard and, well, kind of take the lead back.
But Mohawk is 3-8. And he is having a very slow start. Again, it's only the first couple of hills, yes, but the key to victory coming in, if we were going to make one for whatever it takes, was to get Mohawk to have a slow game. Whether it was double teaming him when he comes around the bend, you expect him to kind of hit some of his lanes a little bit later, as Scrappy usually gets those first initials. Try to double team, watch the cross, get him out of position, pepper him with nades and stuns. Don't let his job be easier than it needs to be.
Oh my god.
As Vico is now on 11 in a row. The lead not quite bad for Ultra. Whatever it takes, surviving this first assault from Vico as he flies his way in with a glide bomb still to boot. Finally, they get the lead. Finally, they get the time. But how long will it last? Fellow could be the next victim. Couple of pressures that do come from the top of the barn. Vico still alive at 13-5. Fellow make it 14. Goodbye. Through the front, more pressure, but all of Ultra Academy doing what they need to hold this lead.
He is on a 12 spree right now, and although he still checked the wrong corner, he's still going. Finally gets taken down on a 13 streak for Vehicle to at least secure some hill time for Ultra Academy on that Grandma's Hill and on this Barn Hill. Shout outs to Vehicle, and I mean, honestly, holding the rotational kills. You saw Mohawk doing that, and you see Hixie pushing forward, trying to get the rotation towards Grandma, getting set up that back silo side here. But oh my goodness, now that we finally have that first lead change, but whatever it takes, our setup, and then streaks are going to come in from Vikol, see if he can connect at least onto a player. But yeah, at least he has some information on where whatever it takes is, and there you have it. There's a break in the push and the floods come on through.
It's the same conversation from the last series we saw with Ultra. It's three players kind of doing what they need to and one player struggling. If Mohawk decides to turn up, this is a very different game. Like, the fact that it's still tied is a good thing for Ultra. Whatever it takes, doing their best to get back into the swing of things at 9 and 10. And Brack will try to work his way down into the hard point as Hixie sits on the outskirts, and Fellow off spawn would have found the kill regardless. But here comes a couple of quick, easy trades that whatever it takes needs to start capitalizing on, because, well, that lead's been built steadily and continuously from Ultra. They have not had a lot of time to contest these hard points because they've been too busy just winning individual gunfights with those subs to get the opening break. Is too real. Looking for at least a couple. We'll find 1, 2, able to get both. Maybe the third on Scrap. Scrap cleans the kill up, but regardless, damage is done. We go to our next hard point, and at this moment in time, I should say, like, whatever it takes, have to do a little bit more. The slang's been there. It just hasn't been the cleanest holds.
Yeah, and I mean, Too Real already pulled out a sub, and now he already is starting to streak out. But and the first time around on this rotation, Spaceman, like, we noticed that whatever it takes had that 3 AR setup. So maybe just a little bit more pressure applied, because obviously Vikol went on that streak, and there you have it. So now you have Too Real with a sub in his hand, and whatever it takes in control of this point. And well, they essentially have preferred spawns for the new. So Ultra Academy having to funnel through that Grandma side. Hixie gets a huge kill off screen down low there, pushing through River. So this is the flip maybe that they need to push towards new, but at least the remaining scrap is held, and well, Fellow at least cuts down 2 members, and that was huge for the spawn secure for whatever it takes.
I mean, it's big until Mohawk breaks it. That's the problem. If Mohawk goes uncontested and is able to find a kill or two, then Fellow's kills do nothing. And like he's doing now, like the pressure that he applies to the back, then you have to pull the AR sitting towards the back tank, that's Clay, out of at least his line of sight, deal with that pressure if no one else cleans up the kill. Then you have to worry about funneling back off spawn. So, I mean, those kills are big, but with all that happening, Ultra still found a way to get interesting and to create a little bit of a diversion. However, with all the chaos subsiding, whatever it takes, do maintain the lead. They have steadily built upon it. Clayster, from all angles, getting hit with nades, stuns, shots that do eventually drop him. With all that happening, you have 20 seconds to go. So I think for Ultra, you obviously want to fight for this. You don't want this game to get pushed towards that 180 mark. But on the other side, for whatever it takes, I honestly would be okay with conceding these last 20 seconds because, you know, your hold game has not been good in this opening hardpoint.
Well, I would say a huge 3 there.
Okay, Clay.
Right, Clay? And at least they have the spawn awareness to know that members are still spawning back, so getting on that God tank would have been beneficial, but either which way, it's just these rotational kills that whatever it takes are finding to secure time. And yes, although Fellow did get a huge 2-piece on that last one, still, it was allow the members of whatever it takes to hold it through the back, and that's essentially what they're doing. It doesn't matter what spawn that they have, they just hold it. They find ways to hold it from either side, and as you see now, the funnels, the pushes are coming through from Too Real, and both Clayster pushing forward and zoning forward and getting as much time as possible. Too Real on a 5 streak right now, and this is kind of putting Ultra Academy in a situation where they're kind of flustered. They're single pushing and being isolated. The kills still are coming in favor of whatever it takes, and yeah. I mean, ultimately now Ultra Academy, this lead is crawling away from them. They're gonna have to figure out how to do basically the same thing that just happened to him on this barn hill.
Too Real stay alive towards the riverside, so he was able to find 3, 4, 5 kills, and that just allowed for the pinch to develop. So whether or not Ultra wanted to funnel those kills, they didn't really have a choice. They had to be able to respawn through the middle of the hard point. And unfortunately, none of the nades landed and none of the gunfights went their way. In this moment in time, if it continues on this pace, it will be whatever it takes to take the game 1 win. Ultra just haven't had enough production from the ARs, let alone just the crosses that whatever it takes have been watching have worked out. They have paid off as Clayster finds the kill on the Scrap. It's Mohawk flying into the action now with the sub in his hands, and he will drop. 3 more dead in the kill feed. It's just continuous, one after another. 3 more dead, then 3 more dead. It all started with Clayster's 3-piece with the automaton, and since then it's been Brack, it's been Fellow playing his life, it's been Too Real on these pinches, on these late swings. Clayster combining with Too Real for 3 more kills and the 4th. This one could be done. Clay showing up huge in the final stages of this hard point.
Yeah, and I mean, realistically, it doesn't matter. They're just controlling the spawn so well. And I don't know if Brack spawned in the back of that barn hill, but like he just literally was. The spawns just got so mixy there that's literally it. They just put themselves in a win condition. They only need 2 more points. Realistically, it's just kind of easy breezy from here. Just push forward, find a way to break. Ultra Academy, this is going to be really hard to hold on. And plus, I mean, I think Streak's probably coming into play, but they don't need him regardless. That is whatever it takes in a very dominant Bokash fashion, winning 250 to 149.
I think the big takeaway is number one, 2Real's positioning near the end of a lot of those hills just created opportunities for clean time, clean holds, and it kept pressure off of the backs of Clay and Brack and Fellow. And 2Real really stepped up when it came to making a play outside of the hard point. He was able to do it consistently. Ultra didn't have an answer, and Clay showed up in the end. Like, he had a good stretch in the start, started to kind of dwindle away, and Fellow had to pick up a lot of the slack, but Clay stepped up with a big 3-piece to clear off the Godheady, and then he moves into the next hill and continues that rampage and just put people away with the AR when he needed to most. And that is the big factor for why this team had such a successful finish to this hard point.
Yeah, and I mean, even so too, 2Real, I believe they started off with 3 ARs, kind of just getting those opening picks and just getting set up for that P1. And like, as soon as 2Real, like, you just saw him, a sub in his hand, 5, 6, like, he just started popping off, and that was like the pressure that they needed, because in the beginning, like, look at it, it was 99 to 92, like, it was so close, and then boom, like, once, as soon as that, the sub came out in his hand, and then, of course, Brack switching between, you know, they all at one point had an AR or sub, but regardless, they were just controlling spawns so well. And I mean, the kills to boot, 24 non-traded kills from 2Real, 20 from Brack alone. I mean, it's just overall just dominant display of performance. And yeah, they controlled spawns, whether they had good spawns or bad spawns. They were so aware at all times. And well, Fellow did Fellow things. He was able to roam from the start. He just was doing his thing and probably making those call-outs. Hey, I'm making them spawn here. Hey, I'm making them spawn there. Their coordination just was really good and kept up that consistency throughout the game.
And Mohawk, double negative. If you can get him to have a slow game, you're probably going to take game 1. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly why whatever it takes, we're so successful, let alone the fact that they just slayed their way through a lot of situations. You have Fellow and Clay sharing the same stat line. I love it. It's so cool. Brack at 23 and 19 was absolutely pivotal with a lot of his 2 pieces, a player that also does not get the amount of recognition and credit that he deserves for what he's been able to bring to the table the past couple of years, and 2Real having a phenomenal game, and he's grown so much as a player ever since Black Ops 4, and this team is really interesting. I love the fact that their name is whatever it takes. Both these squads undefeated, 3-0 coming into tonight's matchup on the mainstream. Currently, whatever it takes sits in first place because of the game differential. They've only lost 2, whereas Toronto Ultra has lost 3. Regardless, I mean, these are the 2 teams fighting for first place, really, in North America. Right on their tails is 705 Esports, which is Pristini and company. But game 1 went to whatever it takes on Bocage, 250 to 149. Berlin S&D coming up next, followed by Control on the same map. And then if needed, you guys see the rest. What are you thinking, Ellen? Do you think we're going to look at a 2-0 series lead? Is Mohawk going to step it up? Are we all going to suddenly talk about late stage Mohawk and then bam, it's 1-1? What are you thinking?
Well, we know how good that, again, Scrappy is on Berlin, but, I mean, we know how good all members of Whatever It Takes. I mean, they're all veteran players. I want to see some Clayster snipes, okay? But in Search and Destroy, of course, anything can happen. They say Search wins championships. But, no, I just going into this, I'm really excited to see, like, those long-range battles and just see what type of strategies that Whatever It Takes has. I mean, we kind of got an idea of Berlin from Toronto Ultra Academy, like, a lot of fast pushes towards A. They usually have members tucked away, maybe watching those long flanks around, those long routes. But for the most part, I don't know. I don't want to make a prediction. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx this one. I'm here for the ride, man. I'm excited to see how it goes down. But man, if Whatever It Takes is firing like that, going into this, I really feel like they have something up their sleeve, because they did have an opportunity to watch some VOD, at least of Ultra Academy playing this, but also to, you know, they do have a coach. I believe Coach Will Viaz is behind them as well. So, you know, they really have been putting in the time and effort, even on and off streams. And I'm just really excited. I'm really excited to get into it, man. I really am. I'm so happy we're doing this match.
Yeah, it's so good. I'm glad we got it on mainstream. For Ironblood, it was Exceed and Assault who started to slow down after the S&D, and one of the reasons why they probably didn't send it to a Game 5. For this team, though, for Whatever It Takes, if they can just stay productive, if they can stay at least, like we talked about, 80% of what they do normally, if you can put up 20, 25 kills in a respawn, whether it's hardpoint or control, you're probably going to be doing a little bit better than, unfortunately, what Ironblood did near the end of that control, near that hardpoint. So in this situation, I would say that I think whatever it takes probably have a better outlook on the S&D than maybe Ironblood did, because they're not going to make a lot of those rookie mistakes. Not that Ironblood were throwing away rounds, but whatever it takes, have quite literally 3 CDL veterans and 2 real who's seen every amalgamation of every round that ever existed. So I just think that they're going to play this a lot slower than many expect.
I can see that. That's fair. That's fair. And that's the thing. Like,
Appreciate
you know, you see those mistakes happen. Like, they'll capitalize on any type of mistake. So it's like, you can't make mistakes, because a team, like, you know, with like whatever it takes, it just, they'll find some way to capitalize on every single opportunity. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Did you like that? I like that. That was fun.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It was great. So original.
Hate me. Thank you. I can't wait. This is such a good matchup. So far, nothing much, though. Good nade from Vikul. Will not connect for nothing. Scrap, throwing one right back out. He'll tag Clay. And surely, if you are whatever it takes, you understand that you're not going to get over to be unscathed. Clay looking at the wide peak. Scrap playing patiently around the bend. And Fellow with the great Guardian Angel help. That's that duo, but Mohawk responds.
Yeah, and that was a huge opening pick there from Brack 2 onto Hixie, rotating over to A. So they have members of Ultra Academy trapped. Like, whatever it takes, like, look at this perfect triangle around all members. So it is a 2v3. There is 2 real, of course, in the back that takes down Mohawk. So now 1 apiece for whatever it takes. This leaves Vikul last alive. And, well, he's going to quickly plant and rotate over, or try to plant, rotate over fast as possible towards A. And whatever it takes, maybe picking up on this. So you see the fast rotation come in, and, yeah, he's spotted.
Great pick on to Brack.
Get one? Okay.
I think Brack was still trying to position. And that should be a peak. Yep. Play the 50 game. 2 real get it done. And then we'll get the defuse. Round 1. Goes to whatever it takes. 1 round at a time. Ultra. Not bad at all. Just came down to a couple of key trades they did not find. And in the end, first round. Whatever it takes.
Yeah, and I wonder if there was, like, they anticipated that too, because, I mean, Brack, obviously, through that train side, like, he just won that really huge opening engagement versus Hixie. So just allowing that to happen, and, of course, pushing up through train, isolating members of Ultra Academy, back in that warehouse side. Mohawk, although he was able to get one, it just, yeah, getting caught on the rotation all the way back. It's just like, you have to go all the way back.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what Brack did. He went all the way around the map.
Yeah, you almost have to make that jump on the first try as well. Like, you can't reposition.
Yeah.
You have to
take shortcuts.
Yeah, exactly. But it happens. Well, that doesn't, though. Goodbye. That's 2 dead. Oh my goodness.
Well, Mohawk last alive there in a 1 versus 4. The bomb is already down.
Yeah,
kind of
enjoy
impossible.
Breaking that down,
Ellen. Yep. No breakdown from that one. It's just Fellow there with the opening pick with that automaton in hand, just beaming, and then Clayster to follow. I mean, look at that. You have you got both Fellow and Clay looking at that window together. Like, they got some coordination down, and it just continues.
I have such a way with ARs. I love it.
I love it.
It's so nice.
Best gun in the game.
The duo back together again. That was so fun when the announcement was made. Like, obviously, both these players, respectively, on their own independent journeys, but, you know, like, it's cool seeing legacy teams like that old United roster get a little taste back. You know, you got Clayster and Fellow working together again, Pristini on 705. It's just interesting. It's nice to see that some duos form through all the chaos and challengers.
For sure. Especially when you feel like all hope is lost.
It's like, I'll take this if the world is burning, but you know what? Clayster and Fellow, that's what's getting me through my Mondays. Vikul gets the bomb down. 40 seconds to play with. No one dropping as of yet. 1 on the close left. You could get a peek here if you're Vikul, but you have to be careful because Clayster would immediately trade. Here comes the push. Vikul for 1. Good.
Well, 2 real somehow.
The map?
Yeah. Somehow fell off the map there, but Vikul, very, very smart plays there. And, well, good round from Ultra Academy. I was going to say, Fellow, it looked like he was actually trying to pre-fire that wall, and he wasn't connecting. And that's a shame because had his, obviously had he known that Vikul was in that corner, I mean, maybe that would have been a little bit of a push, but getting the play that, hey, no one's there, let's push forward. And then, obviously, Vikul caught Fellow out in the window, and then Clayster to follow. Wasn't able to get the trade, but still, very smart from Vikul to just play his life, stay alive, not to get too frantic over there in the bomb site. And
yeah.
Now on the attacking round, whatever it takes. Last time around, they essentially had a B play, and, well, Clayster snipes. Get that information that there is at least a member of Ultra Academy over at B, and you see that bomb going down. Too Real with the first pick. The bomb going towards A, not going down, but Too Real gets the first blood.
I love that even with Clay on the team, if he's not doing it himself, someone's going to fall off the map. If it's Too Real, great. If it isn't, it's someone else. It still exists. It's a universal constant. Bomb.
Yeah.
Getting put. There it is. Vikul can't find the shot. And they will just fly at him. Fellow has to work off the stun, but at range with the pistol. Is that Clay? That better be Clay.
Yeah, yep.
I hope it is. That's ridiculous. 3-1. Whatever it takes, keeping it going. Clayster, you dirty man. You saucy little salamander. Goodbye, Hixie.
And Clinical, I mean, realistically, too, it's just the first bloods. It's the first bloods that keep happening for whatever it takes. And just that opening engagement, 1 by 2 Real. Again, I mean, all members are doing really well. Clayster had the cross with the sniper, and, well, sniper or pistol, doesn't matter. This guy is frying. So now Ultra Academy, look at this side. It's going to be maybe an aggressive play towards B, but you got the utilities coming out, the stun checks. And, well, a little bit of information where Fellow is, but Clayster at least sees Vikul cross, gets some shots in, and manages to get away with his life. Mohawk makes the play, but Clayster with the trade. And make it 2 for Clay. There you go. The bomb is down. It's 2 versus 2.
Oh my goodness, Clay. Have a game, brother. 6-2. Pistol, sniper, automaton. Give him whatever. He's right behind. He's towards the docks. Clayster just peeked correctly. No way. Great patience from Vikul. Now one-on-one. Clay, Vikul, and Clay just guns him. Shoot the body, Clay. Let him know. The clutch again. The old man. You can't stop him. He is the silent eclipse. My God. The world champion does it.
Listen.
I love
listen.
this man.
It doesn't matter, okay? Age is a number. It's a mentality, baby. And listen, Clay, I think, was that the whole entire team? He's on a 5 streak right now.
I think he just 1v forward.
Yeah, basically. Oh my goodness.
What a king.
Yep.
I'm sorry. This is implicit bias. I love Clayster.
4-1 right now.
5 streak.
Jeez. Ultra Academy just can't get anything going. And
Ultra
even though
in this game, if Clay doesn't have that performance, right? So, like, that's the takeaway. Like, Ultra, this game is not over by any stretch. You can absolutely take this one the distance. You just kind of have to slow it down, stop giving up these first bloods.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mohawk got the first blood last round, but Scrappy didn't get the trade. It was Clayster that waited patiently for him, but now Scrap did get the first blood with that snipe onto 2 Real. The bomb is down. Let's see if Clayster can continue the streak. The pre-fire from Vikul takes him down, so now this leaves Brackless left alive, and Scrap.
Nice.
That is Scrap's round. He gets 2 with that snipe in hand. Take a round there.
Not only is that a big round, Ellen, but you shut down streaks from Clay, what potentially could have been streaks. So you save yourself a round. You save yourself the middle of the game, potential late game decision making. No more glide bomb. Ultra's game to win here. They have a lot they can work with. You have the sniper in Scrap's hands. He's 3-5. Hixie's the only one, quote unquote, not pulling his weight, but we know that he comes up big with these ridiculously important 2 pieces at the most random times that end up winning you games. We'll see how it plays out. The stun will slow Vikul with the push on the bomb, but it won't do a whole lot to deny this plant, as Brack will crawl his way around. And it's a slow hit up the stairs towards the column. And around pillars, 2 Real, ready and waiting. Here's the first push. 1 will drop. On the other side, Clay getting the call to rotate.
Yeah, Clay and Fellow are huge right here because, I mean, essentially they're playing together. They're going to try to isolate these members. You got Scrap who's waiting. You got Vikul who's just waiting through the window, waiting through the push through. And I mean, shots connect a little bit, but 2 Real still knocks him out with a pistol. Mohawk, he's going to be the last one alive. And yep, that is it. Whatever it takes. Really good isolation and claps breaking down towards that A site. And this is getting scary now. Win condition 5-2.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little scary. Not nightmare fuel, but a little scary.
A little bit.
Still winnable. 5-2, or 5-2, I should say. Clay at 7-3, Fellow at 7-3. Man, these guys just love sharing stat lines.
I just realized that. Yes.
I hope they do it for the
7-7-7
whole
again.
series. Yeah, I hope they do it for the whole series.
They're brothers, man. True brothers.
This is...
See that bomb going towards the B site, and this looks like they want to end it here. So Scrap on the outside does take down 2Real, but Clayster with the trade. And Clay has the bomb. It's not going to go for the plant yet. Probably wait for Ultra Academy maybe to
he's doing
peek
it now.
this, but now he is. Yep.
Smart play. He's got Fellow towards mid-map, so he can watch the cross immediately. And Brack working there behind. This is so great. Patience is everything. And Brack can't win one shot. That's a bit of a blunder. But Fellow's there, and the cross from the ARs might pay off. Brack, so weak, so damaged. Out with a challenge. Goodbye with the pistol. 28 seconds to go. And a one-on-one. Hixie sticking it. He's got the defuse. That's it. That's the round. Nicely done by Hixie in the one-on-one just to hop it. Ultra, stay alive.
Yeah, I was going to say for a second, I thought Clay was going to wait for Brack to get in a little bit of position. But like as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, shoot. Because I was looking at Brack. I was like, wait, he is planning. I thought he was going to wait for just a split second. Because essentially, like, yeah, Brack was in the perfect position to essentially get behind Ultra Academy. But having to go faster and then obviously the bomb getting down and then Clay falling, like, it's kind of like in a situation where, oh, gosh, are they defusing yet? Like, you know, what's going on over here? Fellow fell. And yeah, it's just a little bit of a timing thing there, but regardless, great stuff from Ultra Academy playing so well. And now we got a little bit of a patient game here. Mohawk almost getting a first blood onto 2Real, but 2Real able to get away with his life. That bomb is just going to sit in mail. It's really about playing for a pick here. There's the pick. Scrap gets on to first blood onto Clayster. And now, strength in numbers, they can utilize this, and it looks like they're going to wrap it over towards A.
Does 2Real sniff it? He does. Does he play patient? He does. But they had a problem. There's one above him. There's one player above him. It's Mohawk. Mohawk see him. Yeah, he did. He did. So that's huge. So that cuts down everything. You win a gunfight in front by Hixie. Again, Ultra Academy are not out of this game by any stretch. And the fact that Mohawk plays his life so appropriately, stays quiet, doesn't drop down, so you're not giving away position, finds the kill. You got Hixie winning ones in front, and Scrap opens up with the first blood. This is where runs happen, and this is where the danger comes in. Ultra Academy can absolutely do this.
Oh man, and 2Real would have been the one to cut that down there. Like, he saw all members, but the problem was, yes, like, he was heard. Mohawk, very good awareness from him. And I mean, like, Hixie too, he's on a 3 streak right now. So we saw a little bit of step up from Hixie because he was at 1.1 and 6, and now whatever it takes, it looks like they might try to go towards this B side again. The aggression plays coming through, and look at Ultra Academy all flooding through male side.
So good, and they didn't get hit by the stun, but they did get hit by Clay. He's been in a spot 3 or 4 times in this game, and a couple of rounds, and I think one got spotted. He did. Scrap will drop. It's a 4v2. It was a great play by Ultra, but a better counter read from whatever it takes. They were in position with ARs just to shut down this strat. Hixie working to the back. He's got to be careful. He's going to get spotted. Clayster with another. Mohawk is 7 and 6, the only one alive. Fellow, Clay, they're both there. Goodbye. That's it. Whatever it takes. Take game number 2. 6-4, and they're now up 2-0 in the series.
My goodness, man, and I mean, it could have been 6-2, 6-0. I mean, realistically, great plays all around from whatever it takes. I mean, just of course those first opening engagements, the first bloods, but Clayster himself, yes, clutching that one round where he had all 4, and then even just that last round, he had 3 members of Ultra Academy that he took down just from that one spot on the riverside towards B. So good stuff from them, and yeah, it's kind of the stuff that you expect to see from these guys.
It's all there right now for whatever it takes, and it's certainly a good response from Ultra. When their backs were against the wall, they certainly responded. It just came a little bit too late, and in the end, it was a good call in that final round, just completely read by whatever it takes. Clayster in the same spot. There was no one to respond to him, whether on the docks, whether it's towards that fire window. There was no one around to counter that AR, and then fellows sitting far back, waiting for someone like Hixie to rotate around. Just smart plays all around. Scrap at 6 and 8 all the way down the board, but you'll look at the performance from Clay. Like 11 and 5, he got the 1v3 clutch as well. Like, the dude did the damn thing. 11 and 5, insane. 8 untraded kills. Good performance.
Yeah.
It's a great performance.
Well, I mean, we didn't get the same stat line from Clayster and Fellow this time around, but we did get the same deaths. We got 5-5, and then Brack got 5. There's 5-5-5. But no, good stuff. I mean, even at one point too, he pulled out the sniper and had a couple of snipes in the round. So kind of just switching up your strategies and making it a little bit unpredictable. Of course, they just realistically, they were in the driving seat. I feel like the whole time in the series, it just feels like they are in the driving seat. And if anyone was to take down Scrap, of course, Clayster would be the one to do it, and he is doing just that. Pretty much across the board, whatever it takes, they're looking really, really good right now.
They are looking very good, and they're in a prime position, poised to potentially take this series 3-0. However, we will have to find out the conclusion of that after we come back from this commercial break. And when we do, we continue on with whatever it takes in Ultra Academy North America. You don't want to miss it. We will see you guys in a moment. Welcome back to the final match of the night for the North American Challengers Elite Series. We concluded with Europe earlier today, and now we find ourselves in the final best of 5. It's whatever it takes versus Toronto Ultra Academy, the North American squad, and now is a 2-0 lead for whatever it takes. In very interesting fashion, the S&D came down to the wire, but in the end, Clayster said, I am a 3-time world champion. I will gun you into the ground. I will shoot your body. And now we're going to control on the same map. I am so happy that Ellen is here with me, because this has been just fun Call of Duty, man. Like, this is one of those nights where, like, let's kick back, relax, watch Call of Duty, and watch pros and world champions just duke it out. I like it.
Yeah. No, good vibes, definitely, for sure. And I mean, it was honestly, when I heard and because the way essentially, and I don't even want to bring it up, just the way essentially that Clay and Fellow with their old squad didn't qualify kind of stunk. But the fact that obviously Major Maniac, Neptune, salute to them. But regardless, Clay and Fellow, when I found out they got picked up with Brack and 2 Real, I'm like, oh my god, like this is gonna be like amazing. Like, not just to discredit Major Maniac and Neptune, they're so good too, but like just the fact that I still get to see Clay play is just, of course, amazing. Because that guy, like, he has so much passion, so much heart. And I mean, just to boot with Fellow, like I've been seeing Fellow, he's been putting in the time. He's been playing ranked, he's been streaming more, just to see these guys even more active, like of course in the community. It's just been awesome to see. And just with the squad as a whole, like we'll see what happens. It'll be really cool to see if they'll take even the stage, but regardless, you just can't count the powerhouses of players that have just displayed. I mean, Bracken 2, like I said, you saw a censor tweeting yesterday, like, these guys should be in the league. Why are they not in the league, Spaceman? They're so good, so good. I don't
have the answers. I'm sorry. I don't control that anymore. I used to, not anymore. We are waiting to make sure we're all good to go. But when it comes to this matchup specifically, you're down 0-2. You're Ultra Academy North America. You're a very good team. You had somewhat of a comeback in the S&D. Yeah, like, I'm sorry if it's really generic, but you need a full 4-team effort. Like, we need Mohawk and Scrap to do what they did against Ironblood in the control. They need to have that, like, 30-ball performance from both of them.
Well, how about this start from Clayster? Manages to take down 2. Stun against the wall. Now Brack, he's going to try to follow up here. But Ultra Academy, of course, they have the resources over at B, just trying to at least just get some type of time. But problem is, of course, you got members of Whatever It Takes still slaying around the point, and some weird stuff is going on between Hixie and 2 Real on the opposite side. They haven't even been playing the game for about a couple minutes, just dancing around each other. But Hixie finally gets the kill and moves forward towards A, but not long before the kills do come for Whatever It Takes, and that is a full man squad wipe. And now they can get set up for a spawn trap here. They're controlling Ultra Academy the way they want to.
That's why they have Fellow currently sitting at B. If he dies, then you have to push reinforcements over towards B. If he doesn't, you know that the continued pressure is going to be on A. So if you win that battle, you win this round. It's going to just be consistent one after another, like a giant pendulum swing on whether or not Ultra can win this break and get into the point. So far, they've been unable to do so. Finally, they do get over towards B, but what is the decision making now for Whatever It Takes? How long will they take to get towards the site? As Vehicle punches out the wall, we'll pay for it. And on to B we go.
Yeah, and that was a huge 2 from Scrap, and of course, smart plays from Vikal and both Hixie to clear out the point. But Vikal, yes, playing patient, not necessarily jumping on the point with his team to stack it, but of course, they need to capture here because there's only 17 seconds left. They did get 2 ticks, but you still have 2 members of Whatever It Takes flooding on through. Fellow dancing around, trying to see if he can get something going. Hixie does take him out, and well, that does leave 1 member last alive over at that B site. It is 2 Real, and he actually gets the kill for the save. That means that Ultra Academy, they have to get on the point, they have to make a clock stop, but they have to capture something to extend the time. Whatever it takes, just slayed them all out again over at B, and that at least might be sometime saved over at A, but still, what a clear from 2 Real. Huge plays from him to clear off the point.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want to give up A because it just puts another minute on the board, but right now, B should be locked up with 1 extra challenge. 2 Real does get in, he wins both, and he stops the time. Can't find the 3rd, but maybe that's enough. Finally, Ultra do get into the point. They're going to get B locked up, another minute on the board, but it's 11-4, so at this moment in time, just playing the bet game, you're expecting Whatever It Takes to win this round. 11-3, so you were worried about how much time do we give up? Do we allow them to get the point to secure another minute? Well, luckily you kept the kills flowing, and that means it's 10v2, which means it's a lot easier to close out this round as Glacier does. 10-5 on a 3 spree to start. He's leading the lobby on a 3 spree. You do have Scrap in their side, but like, Clay is not slowing down with the sub, and that's what's interesting now, is if he gets going and he starts taking over this game, where's the response from Mohawk, from Scrap, from Hixie, from Vikul? There's got to be more from Ultra. They had it a little bit, but it was a little bit too late in that first round.
And what they constantly keep doing is just picking up those lanes, pushing forward. And Ultra Academy, like, we know that they're an AR dominant team, but like cutting them down, that's that sub aggression. Like, Clayster had a sub. Immediately off the break, he had like 2 kills for the save, but 2 real. How about 2 real with the save on the objective kills over there by B? Like, to save that point and just constantly applying that pressure. It's just whatever it takes is doing such a good job of doing it. And just even so, Fellow gunning scrap long range. I mean, that's just that sub pressure that pushed on to A, and they work the A site over B. Smart plays here. If they get this, this is gonna be really hard to break if you're Ultra.
I mean, it's been a quiet 11-5 from Brack. We haven't talked about him a lot, but that's the beauty of what this team can do right now. They can't do no wrong. They're just constantly in the position to trade with one another, get big breaks onto the point. Mohawk gonna let a nade fly in the moment at 2 and 10. Again, if he turns things around, this is a different ball game. But right now, it's just been a little bit of a slow effort. Ultra finally get 3 kills. Maybe the bleeding stops here. He'll get an automaton to work with, but the spread from whatever it takes back over towards B, doing very similarly what Ultra did in that first round, putting a couple hits towards A. Now he split our resources. They don't win the gunfights. They're trying to hold on to lives, 21-19. With 43 seconds to go, whatever it takes, do have to make a commitment. Whether it's B, whether it's A, you have to start getting some progress.
Yeah, and the good thing about at least at A, they did have a tick, so it obviously will make things a lot easier. But now at this point, it's like fully commit your resources to B because you want to get that extended time. You don't want to spend too much time fighting for these kills. Obviously, have a lead change, and well, Mohawk on a 5 spree right now definitely makes things easier. But yeah, Brack cuts him down, and well, it looks like Beagle is going to be the one to disrupt this. He does, but it's not before whatever it takes is pushing over towards A.
I mean, Ultra's a very good defensive team. They always have been. We saw it even in the last series. But for whatever it takes, they have to make a decision on this next push. You got 30 seconds to go. The spread right now is all for Ultra. They've been winning a lot of big key gunfights thanks to Scrap at 12 and 13. As long as he stays alive as a scout, he might pull enough attention away to get more members from the boys in purple over to make a play. B might be locked up with everyone currently waiting. Need a bit more progression. Yep, they're going to get it. So another minute on the board, and now you can play through the kills back to TDM.
Yep, and I mean, the good part about it is like, yes, they have live advantage here, but they also already have a tick over at A. So that push in the beginning of the round, huge gunfights from Fellow there, just deemed beneficial, even if essentially they didn't capture it right away. You got Clayster, who was waiting, sitting pretty, setting up, and, well, kind of separating the push there. 2 real does fall, so yeah, Ultra Academy doing a really good job at holding on here. And, well, Brack is going to try to make a mess of them pushing through Fireside and getting behind enemy lines.
Well, Vico was at least waiting. Yeah, he's definitely waiting. He knows there's going to be pressure, but I don't know if he got spotted immediately.
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't sure if Brack was aware that he was starting to get pushed. He just has to stay alive. I mean, he could be the catalyst for this round. He will fall. Back towards mid-map. Clay wins a gunfight, so does 2 real. If they try to push through the front, where you're going to have to start making a play somewhat in the realm of now. There goes a nade. Ultra looking for a play through the front. Holding towards back pillar. Getting the gunfights they need. That's 2 more dead. It's a 4v4.
A 3v4, 27 seconds left, and that's a huge 2. Oh, there's only 1 member left now. It takes a 1v3, and the cap is coming on through. The flood coming from whatever it takes. There's 1, but it's going to be impossible because, of course, whatever it takes setting up to trade. And yeah, beautiful plays from them. Just essentially, Brack was really key there. He kept him and Clayster literally kept overextending and making a mess inside that P3 inside of Fire, and you just see how well they executed, just cutting off the spawn pinches and essentially allowing members to just keep winning those gunfights from the front and flooding through. 7 objective kills, by the way, from 2 real. So yeah, he's definitely getting those key engagements on the points.
And you got Clayster with 5, and he's been running a sub for a lot of it. Like,
yeah,
we're 1 round away from a 3-0. Like, you could have predicted to be like, yeah, I think, one team could just have a better showing, and with the firepower on both sides, it could be 3-0, sure. But I think the fashion in which it's happened, I mean, the Hardpoint was great in whatever it takes. The S&D was clinical at times. It's still surprising that this is the situation we're in. This is a series that could have been 3-0 or 3-2, but the fact that they're that close, whatever it takes trying to close it out in this round. On offense, Ultra have to make the most out of something now. It's going to take a full reverse sweep. Through the back, it's Vico working his way into the point. Met with a couple of shots from Fellow. Brack and Clayster all working in a trio. But thankfully, Mohawk and Scrap are there to help with the response.
Yeah, that was an interesting setup from Ultra Academy too. Like Vikol was mid watching for that rotation from like Clay rotating over, and they sent 3 members over towards A. But I just wonder, Spaceman, if they took way too long utilizing numbers, like trying to capture something. If you notice, they didn't push on through and go to a point. Ultra Academy don't even have a tick yet, and there's 34 seconds left to capture something. I feel like they just spent way too much time waiting for those opening picks that they didn't really utilize anything. They let whatever it takes take control of the map. And now it's kind of just happening to where they have to just scramble and push on to B, but whatever it takes, they again still just kind of have map control and know exactly and how to anticipate this. Trapped in the back, 26 seconds left. See if Ultra Academy can flood through and get these kills. They have to go.
Well, you're going to have to keep someone like Clay or someone like Brack near the middle of the map alive long enough. Like, Clay roaming like this is really great because not only is he picking up kills, but he's staying alive, and it's just causing that extra pressure where Ultra have to commit to the point, but they also have to commit to making sure they can rotate out towards A. Clayster's still alive. He hasn't died. He's 23-13. He's on a 5 spree of his own, and that pressure that was brought to B that they didn't deal with, that they didn't lock Clay up, that has now led to what is a 12-second game clock. Now you have to stall it at all times. Look at the resources that are currently split. You have to come up spawn and make a decision. You got nowhere to go. Clay just locks him up. 2Real's winning gunfights one at a time on B. 2Real wins them all. That's a 3-0. That's it.
That is it.
Whatever it takes, just stomp their way through that final round, and it's a 3-0 sweep against the other undefeated team in North America. Whatever it takes. 4-0 to start week 1.
They literally made a statement, a Spaceman, like
Wow.
the prowess from that. My goodness, man, I just commitment. I just really feel like in that last round, Ultra Academy, they didn't commit to something. They were waiting for those picks, and if you wait too long, you're gonna let whatever it takes get complete map control. And I mean, yeah, it helps when you got 2Real, you got Clayster popping off out of their minds. 23-13. 23-16. I mean, all across the board. And he had a sub. Main AR Clayster, what? No, it's Flex Clayster, okay? He can do it all.
Dude. He is him. Clayster is him. He just had a phenomenal game. 2Real as well. Like, we can't understate how good 2Real was. Oftentimes,
absolutely
out of the play, trying to like take the opposite side. If they're going A, he's going B. If they're going B, he's going A. And he got 3 kills in the end to close it out. 2Real was ridiculous. Let's go through the recap of the maps because, my goodness, it was pretty one-sided. And there were moments where Ultra Academy certainly had their chances in this series, but it felt like in the end, the execution was just far too much in favor of whatever it takes.
Yeah, and I just feel like whatever it takes, you can really tell that they've been doing their homework. They really have been grinding. Like I said, these guys have been streaming. I've been watching their games, and like even starting it off with Bocage, just that Hardpoint really set the pace. And like they've been practicing everything, good maps, bad maps, whatever. It's just yeah, they were really in the driving seat the whole entire time, and you just have that 1 or 2 or 3 or all of them just getting the key kills. Really, Ultra Academy just were not able to capitalize on anything, any moments, and what looked like they could have ran away with the S&D. I just feel like it was just a little bit too late. Yeah, just when it came to that control, it just felt like at that point being down 0-2, I don't know if it was like a mental game because, you know, you're not used to really seeing these guys go out in this fashion all the time. It's just one of those things that you just got to look at it, Spaceman, and just be like, you know what, let's just go over it, work on it, and just come strong next week. But
yeah, that's a tough loss.
Yeah.
But I don't mean that as in like, you know, demoralizing. I mean it more of like, you know, when you lose a close series 3-0, you're like, all games were so close they could have swung the other way. That's the tough loss where it's like, damn, we lost 3-0, but it doesn't feel like a 3-0. It feels like this went the distance, and with a couple of tweaks, this could have been their series, you know?
Yeah. And I just wonder too, like with Clayster having that third sub in hand, like, you know, just adding that extra aggression there for them, like it just maybe in certain moments caught Ultra Academy off guard that they just, again, they couldn't really capitalize on anything, but whatever it takes now are the Kings, and now they are undefeated. So just going into week 2, they're looking good this week.
Look at them go. I hope we get to see him for week 2 because you and I will be back here, I believe, next Wednesday. And I just want to see if they continue that perfect record alive, Ellen. Regardless, though, that, folks, wraps up an entire 2 days of action for week 1 of Season 4 of the Challengers Elite. We've covered Europe. We've covered North America. With all that said, we're done for now. We're done for the first week in the books. The final season of the Elite Series has concluded for the first week. We come back next week and the following as we continue on with the action. You've seen it before. But for Ironblood, chances to respond. Maybe next time, for whatever it takes, just keep it rolling. Well done to Clayster and company. They get it done. Ultra Academy. We'll see you next time. We'll see you as well.